Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Hokage Naruto summoned to the past part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. The allied shinobi forces were fighting against the Jikbai. The former Hokage were helping as much as they could, but with the presence of an immortal Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Obito, they had their work cut out for them. Madara had kept Hashirama busy, while Kakashi was fighting against Obito along with Minato. Hiruzen and Tobirama were helping the allied forces handle the mini-clones of the Jikbai. The rest of Team 7 that consisted of Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura had summoned their respective summon bosses. The new Toad boss Gamakichi. Amda, the Snake boss. Kitsuyu, the Slug boss. The three summons were working in tandem with their summoners to restrain the main body of the Jikbai and take out as many clones as they could. Naruto was clad in the Kikbi chakra mode, his father giving him the other half of the Fox's chakra as he used the new abilities granted to him by the other Bijk. Lava-filled Rasengans with cursed markings like Shukaku, the Ichibis and Rasen shurikens with lava cores were being thrown about, liberally taking out large swaths of clones with every strike. Violet marking covered Sakura as the diamond marking on her forehead glowed violet. Healing in an instant from every injury she suffered. With every punch and every kick, she caused the mini-clones to explode from the inside. Sasuke on the other hand was ripping through his targets with a combination of Kenjutsu and Ninjutsu. Bursts of black flames, waves of powerful lightning and a blade coated in lightning were ripping through the clones. Sasuke easily dodged his opponent's strikes with the help of his Sharingan. As the three ripped through their enemies, the rest of the alliance cheered them on. Following their example, they also increased their efforts in bringing down the clones. Among them, Hiruzen and Tobirama watched on with pride. Those three are something else. Especially the blonde-haired one, you have raised some good shinobi, though the Uchiha still gives me an uneasy feeling. Tobirama said as before he released a pressurized jet of water and cut through some of the clones. Believe it or not, but those three couldn't work together at first. The girl was the Uchiha's fangirl, while the blonde-haired boy had a crush on the girl and hated the Uchiha with a passion. It all changed after their first C rank. It became an A rank. That really opened their eyes. It is nice to see they are this powerful and coordinated. Hiruzen said as he crushed another clone with his bow staff. That's good and all. I just hope they are up to the task. If they fail, the world is doomed. Tobirama exclaimed before jumping into a cluster of clones and started ripping through them using the Raijin no Ken. Hiruzen followed his sensei's example and jumped into another cluster, all the while swinging his bow staff with force and precision. The battle continued as the allied shinobi forces worked together to destroy every single mini-clone of the Jikbai, but they were interrupted when the restrained Jikbai suddenly broke out of its restraints and started gathering chakra to form a Bijdama. The massive Bijdama caused everyone to shiver in fright. The resurrected Hokage started forming a collaboration barrier that should stop the devastating attack only for Madara and Obito to interrupt. Naruto and Karabi went into Bijk mode, created their own Bijdama, and launched them towards the approaching one. With a massive effort, they were able to deflect the Jikbai's attack, only to see another one approaching. The whole of the allied shinobi forces watched with morbid curiosity and fear as the ball of death closed in upon them. As they watched on, Naruto and Karabi were called into the joint mindscape to talk with Bijk. What do you guys need? Naruto asked with annoyance as he paced about. Karabi just watched Naruto along with the Bijk. After a few moments, Kurama finally had enough. We may have a way to save everyone, Naruto. Kurama said, getting Naruto's attention. What do you mean, Kurama? Do you have a way to stop or deflect the Bijdama? Not exactly, there is a jutsu father created that will allow the user to send back himself along with one other person to the past. Then you will be able to change events in the past. That is the only way to do this. Either you will have to prevent the Akatsuki from getting their hands on us, or you will have to defeat Obito before he resurrects the Jikbai. With me being sealed within you, I will return with you. With the other having entrusted a bit of their chakra to you, when we meet up with them, we can give them their memories of this timeline. That's great. What are we waiting for? Naruto asked with annoyance. There is a catch, Naruto. This is a one-time deal. You will not be able to use the jutsu again, so you will have only one try to fix everything. We want you to take back your pink-haired teammate with you. Karabi and Jayuki will keep the Jikbai's Bijdama at bay while you use the jutsu. Do you understand? Sure thing, Kurama, but I will go alone. I do not want to put such a heavy burden on anyone but myself. I will do whatever it takes to prevent this from happening again. Naruto exclaimed with determination. I will support you as well, Naruto. Make sure to teach Madara and Obito the consequences of disturbing the peace. Karabi said with a grin, not even rapping once. Naruto nodded as he fist bumped with Karabi before they vanished from the mindscape. Sasuke had summoned his Susanoo and was firing arrows of black flame as he tried to shift the trajectory of the approaching Bijdama. Beside him, Karabi was in Bijk mode firing a barrage of Bijdama as well, trying to slow down the approach of the massive ball of condensed chakra. Everyone looked on hopelessly as the ball kept approaching, barely slowing down. At the front, right behind the two behemoths, Naruto was kneeling on the ground. He was in Kikbi chakra mode going through hand seals. Just as he was about to finish the seals, he felt someone's eyes upon him. Looking up, he saw Sakura watching him with curiosity. "Don't worry, Sakura-chan. I will make sure that I stop this even if it is the last thing I do," Naruto said, causing Sakura's eyes to widen in shock. He can't be thinking about sacrificing himself, can he? The pink-haired medic thought to herself as a sad smile formed on her blonde-haired teammate's face before it became completely stoic. Something she once considered impossible. She watched as a cloak of violet chakra covered Naruto as he continued with the hand seals. Even though she was not a sensor, she could sense the massive amount of chakra Naruto was producing. She knew that he would not survive if he used that jutsu. Without thinking, she launched towards Naruto and clasped her hands around his neck. Her body pressing into Naruto's back. "Don't, Naruto. I don't know what I will do if I lost you," Sakura said just as Naruto finished the jutsu. "Ninm? Keiko no Ukrai," Naruto said, causing Sakura to start in surprise before both of their visions black out as a massive wave of chakra erupted from their position just before the Bijdama struck the allied shinobi forces and wiped them out of existence. The pair of jade green eyes opened to see a wooden ceiling. The owner sat up and looked around in shock. She realized she was in her old bedroom. One that was destroyed along with the rest of Konoha when pain attacked. Looking at the mirror on her dresser, she came face to face with a younger version of herself. Thinking that she was in a jinjutsu, she gathered her chakra and released it in a burst in hopes of releasing the jinjutsu. To her shock, the world did not even waver. "What? This cannot be right. Am I dreaming? No, that cannot be right. The last thing I saw was Naruto using some kind of jutsu. I jumped on his back screaming for him to stop and that I do not want to lose him, and then he said the name of some kind of jutsu and then my vision went blank and I woke up here. Did I dream all of it up?" Sakura thought to herself before shaking her head. "That cannot be right as well. I can feel my chakra still at the level it was when I fought the Jibai and I still have the infkin on my forehead. The jutsu Naruto used must be the key to my situation. What was the name of the jutsu again? Oh, right. It was Ninm. Keiko no Ukrai." Sakura hummed out, "Ghosts of the Past. Interesting name, does it send the user back to the past or more accurately merges the soul and chakra of the future self with the past self? If it does, then did I interrupt the technique so I came back as well? I need to find Naruto and ask him about the damn jutsu. I hope he came back as well or I will have to do it alone," Sakura exclaimed in annoyance. "When I see that baka. Sakura, are you alright?" Sakura heard her mother Mibuyuki call from downstairs. "I am fine, mom. Just a bad dream," Sakura said with a bit of a grimace. She hated lying to her parents, but telling that she was from the future was not an intelligent thing to do. No, she would keep that information close to her chest until she met up with Naruto and understood what really happened. Then hurry up and get ready. You don't want to be late for your graduation exam, do you? Mibuyuki called, causing Sakura's eyes to widen in shock. Looking at the calendar above her bed, she saw that it really was the date of her graduation exam. Getting out of her bed, she used a kunai to cut her hair, took a short shower, and donned her red kippao and black shorts. She wrapped medical tapes around her right thigh and then tied her shuriken holster on it. She checked herself on the mirror for a moment before nodding. "I need to get a medical supplies bag and see how good my Irene jutsu is before team assignments, but first the exams," Sakura exclaimed to herself before rushing down to the dining room. Mibuyuki looked up to greet Sakura good morning, only to stop short at her daughter's new look. "Sakura-chan, you have cut your hair." "That's right. I decided to stop jazzing after Sasuke and start taking my career seriously. Having long hair would only causing me problems. Can you give me big breakfast as well? I have been reading a few medical book and saw that dieting would only make me a poor kunoichi," Sakura said with a smile, getting a smile from her mother. "That's wonderful, dear, and good morning," Mibuyuki said as she happily gave her daughter a larger portion of breakfast. "Morning, mom, I did akamasu," Sakura said, clapping her hands before digging in. Within minutes, Sakura had demolished her breakfast. "It was great, mom. I will see you later," and with a hit I ate on my forehead. "Sure you will, dear, good luck," Mibuyuki said as Sakura put on her shinobi sandals and ran out of the house. Mibuyuki stared at the receding back of her daughter with pride. She finally became serious. "Huh?" Mibuyuki turned to see her husband, Kizashi, standing behind her. She just nodded with joy. "That's good. I was afraid we would be getting the news that she failed the True Genin test or that she died on a routine bandit extermination mission because she didn't take being a shinobi seriously. I am happy she has finally gotten over the Uchiha. He didn't seem too stable the last time I saw him." Kizashi nodded in agreement before turning to head into the house, Miyuki following him. Naruto woke up to the sight of his old apartment. The one he had not seen since he became the hero of the Leaf. Getting up, he walked into the bathroom and stared at his reflection on the mirror. He was a younger version of himself staring back. After a moment, he grinned. He had done it. He had come back. Now he only needed to know when. Quickly finishing his morning ablutions, Naruto walked into his bedroom and stared at the calendar he kept there. Seeing the date, he panicked. What? It's graduation day. What should I do? Naruto exclaimed in horror. He had not planned to go back this far. He wanted to go back to the day of the bell test. Now he was a week before his target date and he had to go through everything with Mizuki again. Stop panicking, Gaki. Just pass with the Kage Bunshin and say that you learned it from seeing a Jonin or Anbu using it once. It's a common technique though forbidden, so no one will think much of you learning it through imitation. Thanks, Kurama. You are a lifesaver, but what will we do with Mizuki? Now that I think about it, you can pick up a few more jutsu from the Forbidden Scroll. Why not let it play out as it did last time? You may not have the same physical condition as you had in the future, but your chakra levels and control is still at the same level. Then you have your senjutsu to rely on. I am also with you, partner. You are not alone like last time, nor are you useless. You can play off your sudden increase in skill as playing possum until now. After all, a shinobi's greatest weapon is deception. That's a brilliant idea, Kurama, thanks. You better have breakfast and head out now. Naruto looked at the clock and saw that he only had an hour to have breakfast and then get to the academy. Nodding his head, he quickly prepared a cup ramen and had it for breakfast. He took a quick shower and then walked out wearing a small towel around his waist. Opening his wardrobe, he saw his orange tracksuit. He was about to take it out when a sealed box caught his attention. Taking the box out and placed it on his bed. Where did I put my ninja pouch and kunai holsters again? Naruto said as he searched his bedroom for his equipment. It took him a few minutes, but he finally found them under the bed. Huh? How did they get there? Oh well, at least I found them. Taking out a kunai, he channeled a bit of Ton chakra into the kunai, causing a pale blue edge of chakra to form around the blade. With a single swipe, Naruto cut through the tapes on the box. Placing the kunai back in its holster, Naruto opened the box to reveal an Anbu-style dress, complete with a mesh shirt and pants, a custom burnt orange flak jacket, black boots and a red haori with yellow lightning at the bottom. On top of the clothes was a pair of black equipment pouches, a dark red sealing supplies bag with a set of books for learning beginners, intermediate, advanced, and master level genjutsu written by his mother and father. Finally, there was a small scroll. Opening the scroll, Naruto began to read. Dear Naruto, I hope that you are doing alright. Sorry for not meeting you face to face yet. Let me introduce myself. I am your godfather, Jiraiya, the Gama-sanin. I am the spy master of Konoha's spy network, so my work takes me all around the world. I never stay at a single place for long. I would have loved to raise you, but raising a child on the move is wrong. I heard from sensei that you are taking the graduation exam for the third time. I expect you to pass even if you are the dope of the class. I was the dope as well, but now look at me, the strongest of the Sannin. I will be home for the first time since before you were born within the year. I plan to meet you then. I have so much to tell you. In this box is a new uniform for you to wear on your graduation exam. There are books on genjutsu and a sealing supplies bag. Start out small. I am told by my summons that you like orange. I hope that you like flak jacket and the haori. Your parents used to wear similar clothing. They were masters of genjutsu. I hope that you like my gift as much as you like the wallet I sent you. Always stay true to your heart and remember, being a shinobi means to endure. Your absentee godfather Jiraiya. P.S. This should reach you on the day of the graduation exams. So good luck, kid. Make your parents and me proud. After finishing the letter, Naruto started to cry. His master and godfather had always looked after him. Sending him gifts and looking out for him, and because of his impatience, he never knew. How did he even miss the box? He didn't know, but just believed that last time, he was too excited planning and executing the prank, so he must have missed it. Letting the towel fall to the ground, Naruto was about to pull on a pair of black boxers when Sakura appeared in his bedroom in a shunshin. Both dumbly stared at each other for a few tense moments before Naruto screamed and fell over while trying to pull up his boxers. Sakura just shook her head and turned around. That dressed baka. Then we need to talk. The pink-haired medic said, causing Naruto to stiffen before quickly donning his boxers. Standing up, he quickly put on the clothes Jiraiya gave him. I am done. You can turn now. Naruto said as he zipped up the flak jacket. Sakura turned to see Naruto wearing Anbu-style black pants, black undershirt over mesh armor. His flak jacket left slightly open in the chest with his haori on his shoulders. Black boots with his pants tucked into them. The two black equipment pouches tied to the outer side of each thighs, the sealing kit hanging from the left side of his waist. The goggles he wore kept his long messy hair from falling on his face. You look handsome. If you let your hair grow out a bit and pull it up in a ponytail, you will look just like your father. Sakura said, causing Naruto to blush in embarrassment but grin in joy. Thanks Sakura-chan, but why are you here? How did you get here? I jumped on your back just as you finished your jutsu. Gomen, but I think that I caused you to mess up. Sakura said with a slight lowering of her head. Not really. Kurama actually wanted me to bring you back anyway. I just didn't want to burden you. Sakura seethed at that. She was not some wallflower that needed protection, she was the apprentice of the goddamn Hokage, Senjutsunade. She did not need protection. Who do you think you are, Naruto? Are you worse than scum? You would abandon me just so that you will not feel guilty of burdening me when I could help. I am a proud Kunoichi of Konoha. I will endure anything to see Konoha keep standing. Even if I have to kill Sasuke myself, therefore stop being so selfish and let me help you. You have protected everyone enough times. Let me protect you for a change. But that won't happen now. We can save Sasuke and you can be with him. Naruto said with a bitter grin that did not go unnoticed by the pink-haired girl. Inside her heart, she felt sad at Naruto's final words. That's right, but we have to pass the graduation exam first. I just wanted to ask you what you would do. Will you let it play out like last time? I read the report when I was helping Tsunade-sama with filing some of the old mission reports. Naruto nodded in agreement. We shouldn't change much yet. I can even squeeze out a few more jutsu from the scroll this time. They may be helpful in the long run. Sakura nodded in agreement. That's a good idea. So what is your plan on explaining away our sudden increase in skill? Kurama suggested that we say that we were holding back in the academy. After all, deception is the greatest weapon for shinobi. We were just following that saying. Sakura nodded in agreement. What about your sudden change in clothes? They were here last time as well. I had just missed them in the commotion of the prank. Since I did not pull the prank this time and since I have better observation skills now, I saw the box they were in. They are a gift from Iro-sennin. It seems that he is my godfather. He also sent me Gama-chan. Alright, now how about we head to the academy? After the exams, I will head home and wait until nightfall before sneaking out and meeting you at the cabin Mizuki will suggest. When Iruka-sensei finds us, we can say that we were training like usual. That will throw off a bit of suspicion from everyone about our skills. They will think that we did that regularly and that the cabin is our meeting place. I can help heal you and Iruka-sensei if either of you gets hurt. What do you say? That's fine. We may not have our physical abilities on par with our future bodies, but our chakra abilities are the same. I still have access to Kikbi Chakra MMDM and Senjutsu. Sakura nodded in agreement just as Naruto's alarm clock rang, showing that they had less than 15 minutes to get to the exam. Panicking, both of them vanished in a swirl of leaves. Where is Forehead? I thought she would be here by now. Ino said before seeing an empty seat beside Sasuke. With a squeal, Ino quickly took the place before anyone else could. Good morning Sasuke-kun. Are you ready for the exam? Sasuke just kept staring out of the window, ignoring Ino when he saw Naruto and Sakura appear in swirls of leaves on two opposite branches of the large tree standing tall in the middle of the training field. Sasuke just raised an eyebrow in surprise at Naruto and Sakura's new fashion sense, well, more on Naruto's new clothes and Sakura's new haircut. He saw the two look about before jumping down to the ground and making their way into the academy. That's surprising. I did not think those two had such skills. Their demeanor showed glimpses of an experienced shinobi. The same demeanor I had seen in all the ninja from my clan. I better keep an eye on them. Boy Forehead. What is with the new hairstyle? Are you trying to impress Sasuke-kun? Then you are failing. Ino screamed when she saw Sasuke stand up. Turning her head, she saw Sasuke staring at Naruto and Sakura with an unreadable expression on his face. What's wrong Sasuke-kun? Chan. Sasuke grunted before he vaulted over the bench and landed right in front of the two. You two have been hiding your skills. Sasuke stated, getting surprised looks from everyone in the classroom. Sakura and Naruto started in surprise before Naruto spoke up. So what? What does that have to do with you? Sasuke narrowed his eyes for a moment, sizing them up. After a few moments of tense silence, the Uchiha heir nodded to himself. I want to know how you got this strong, and why would you hide your skills? I always ate my spinach. It helps gain great strength. Naruto said with a mocking grin, causing Sakura to stifle a laugh. Sasuke stared in shock at Sakura's different behavior. Normally she would have come to his unneeded aid, screeching. This time, it seemed that she was laughing at him. This caused his interest in her to increase. Naruto Baka, tell Sasuke-kun how you got this strong. All of Sasuke's fangirls excluding Ino screamed. The Yamanaka heir stared at Sakura and Naruto with surprise and suspicion. From the other side of the room, the pale eyes of the Hokage heir stared at them with a frown, gracing her usually serene face. A ninja never reveals their hand to even their comrades. How we got this strong doesn't concern anyone but ourselves. Sakura said, getting strange looks from all the clan heirs. What? Don't you hate Naruto? One of the civilian family kids asked, getting a laugh from the pink-haired medic. Not really. I just do not like his idiotic behavior and him asking me for dates all the time. Other than that, he is a good friend. Though he can be a moron at times, he is still someone precious. Sakura said, getting shocked looks from everyone including Sasuke. Since when did you two become so chummy? Kiba asked with a frown. Akamaru yipped in agreement with his master. We have been friends for years now. We just kept it hidden. Now that we are about to become genin, we decided to reveal our true selves. Any more questions? Everyone get back to your seats. Haruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei is here. Naruto suddenly said, causing everyone but Sakura and Hinata to look at him with skeptical looks. Just as Ino was about to refute him, Haruka and Mizuki walked into the room. Alright everyone, get to your seats. The graduation exam starts in 10 minutes. Haruka said, causing everyone to scramble for his or her seats. And Naruto, you look good. Why didn't you ever wear these clothes before? Because they were a gift I received this morning. I like them, so I decided to make them my official ninja clothes. Haruka nodded as he and Mizuki started handing out the tests. Sakura, Naruto, and Hinata were sitting on the same bench at the back of the classroom. Hey Hinata, good luck with the exam, Naruto said, causing her to blush and stutter. Thanks Naruto-kun, good luck as well, Naruto just nodded as he took the paper Mizuki handed him. Alright everyone, you have 1 hour to complete your written exam. Any cheating and you will fail. Now start. Haruka said, causing everyone to turn over their papers and start writing down their answers. Alright everyone, now we shall do the physical exams. There will be a Taijutsu spar, an obstacle course, and Shuriken Jutsu test. For the Taijutsu spar, you will have to survive for 5 minutes sparring with one of the Chunin sensei or knock your sensei out. To pass the obstacle course, you have 3 minutes. For Shuriken Jutsu, 5 kunai and shuriken will be handed to you. You will have to have a minimum aggregate score of 6 to pass. Now as I call your names, please come up, take your shot at the obstacle course. Haruka said before he started calling name in alphabetical order. After Ino did a run, Haruka decided to post the top 3 scores. Now at 3rd place with a time of 1 min 10 sec is Haruno Sakura. Good job Sakura. This is the best time you have done yet. Haruka said, causing the girl to blush at the praise. Now at 2nd place with a time of 1 min 7 sec is Inuzuka Kiba. A bit slower than usual, isn't it Kiba? Ahaha, I am trying to save my stamina for the Taijutsu exam sensei. Kiba said with a laugh. Now at 1st place with a time of that cannot be right. Are you sure you wrote it down right, Tokoku Dono? Hi Haruka Dono. Though it is surprising, it is true. I checked the stopwatch for errors. I even made him redo the obstacle course. He finished it in less time by at least a second. Tokoku said with subdued tone. Alright, in 1st place with a time of 19 seconds is Uzumaki Naruto. Haruka said, getting shocked expressions from everyone. Congratulations on breaking the previous top 3 records Naruto by 6, 7 and 7.5 seconds. Thanks, Haruka-sensei. Naruto said with a grin. Whose records did he break? Sasuke asked, getting nods from everyone except Sakura. 26.5 seconds, Hada Kakashi. 26 second, Uchiha Itachi, and 25 seconds, Namikaze Minato, the Yondaime Hokage. Haruka said, getting even more shocked expressions from everyone. Alright everyone, let's move on to the Shuriken Jutsu test. Everyone had lined up in 3 lines with a teacher supervising each of line. Sakura and Naruto were standing at the end of the line supervised by Haruka. They were waiting for the rest to complete their turns. Over the course of the test, most of civilians barely scrapped a 6, while the clan heirs averaged at 7. When it was Sasuke's turn, he did a perfect 10 with Hinata doing an 8. Finally, Sakura's turn came up. Here you go Sakura, 5 shuriken and kunai. For bonus point, you can try to hit all the vitals in a single throw. Haruka said as Sakura picked up 5 shuriken and threw them at the same time. To everyone's shock, all of them struck the training dummy at vital points. What surprised the Chunin sensei were the splinters of wood that were expulsed wherever a shuriken struck. One of the Chunin examined the dummy and sensed traces of Danton chakra in them. After replacing the dummy, Haruka motioned for Sakura to continue. Just like before, Sakura threw the 5 kunai at the same time, causing the exact same result. She got a perfect score along with a bonus. Naruto, it is your turn. Then we can get to the Taijutsu exam. Haruka said as he handed Naruto his shuriken and kunai. Just like Sakura, Naruto also threw his shuriken and kunai simultaneously, but charged with Danton chakra. To everyone's shock, the shuriken and kunai punched through the dummies and then through 3 trees, before finally embedding into the wall of the academy. The perfect score Naruto and double a bonus for the use of Danton chakra flow technique. Now, let's head to the Taijutsu exam. Haruka said as the group followed their sensei to the next exam. The Taijutsu exam was a simple affair. Many did not do well, barely surviving the required 5 minutes. The clan heirs were able to last an average of 7, with the exception of Shikamaru, who forfeited in 5. When it was Sasuke's turn, the fight lasted for nearly 9 minutes before Sasuke defeated Mizuki with a well-placed sweep kick that caused Mizuki to fall out of the ring. When it was Naruto's turn, Mizuki had a malicious grin on his face. None but Naruto and Sakura spotted that, but Naruto just grinned in anticipation. Closing his eyes, Naruto created a bit of Senjutsu chakra and waited for Mizuki to attack. "If you keep your eyes closed, you will fail, Naruto." Mizuki mocked, only for Naruto to reply, "That is if you can hit me." Everyone stared at Naruto in confusion. Sakura just stared hard at Naruto and gasped when she saw light orange markings around Naruto's eyes. "He's using Senjutsu. If you really want a beating, then I will be happy to oblige," Mizuki said before charging towards Naruto with a haymaker right at his face. Everyone believed that Naruto would lose in an instant, only for the blonde-haired boy to dodge Mizuki's punch with ease. For the next minute, Naruto kept dodging everything Mizuki threw at him. Jumping over kicks, moving his body and head out of the path of body strikes. The spar seemed like a well-choreographed fight sequence in movies. When 1 minute finally ended, everyone could see Mizuki was panting from exertion with Naruto calmly facing him. "How? What do you mean, Mizuki-sensei?" Naruto asked with a mocking grin. His eyes still closed, the strange orange markings slowly fading away from around his eyes. "How are you dodging everything I am throwing at you without looking? Even when I am going all out against you," Mizuki screamed in anger, only for Naruto to laugh. "Then you must be a poor ninja." "Good night, sensei." "What?" Mizuki asked in surprise when Naruto suddenly appeared in front of him and tried to punch him in the face. Mizuki barely dodged a fist when an invisible force struck him. With a strangled cry, Mizuki was launched out of the ring and into a tree. Haruka rushed towards the downed Mizuki and checked him over. Seeing that Mizuki was only knocked out, Haruka motioned for a couple of students to take Mizuki to the infirmary. "Naruto, I want to ask you something and I want you to be truthful. How did you dodge all of Mizuki's attacks, and how did you throw him out of the ring when you missed? If you used any ninjutsu, I will have to fail you. If you lie, then I will fail you as well. Ninja sparring is a sacred ritual. I will not have you sully it," Haruka said with a grim expression. "I manipulated my chakra into an invisible cloak around me. It allows me unprecedented sensory abilities. With the sensory abilities, I can predict my opponent's next move. I can also manipulate the cloak to hit my target if I miss. That is what happened. If I had used enough chakra, Mizuki-sensei's face would have been smashed in," Naruto said, getting shocked expressions from everyone except Sakura. "He is telling the truth, sensei. I saw the cloak of chakra around him with my Byakugan." Everyone turned to see Hinata speaking while blushing. Haruka stared at Hinata for a moment before nodding. "Alright, Naruto, you pass. You have developed that dangerous taijutsu style, unless someone taught you, though I doubt it. It seems similar to the Yondaime Reikage's Raiten chakra mode, just with neutral chakra." "Thank you, Haruka-sensei," Naruto exclaimed with a happy grin. "Everyone, please listen up. You will have an hour of recess before we call you back into your classrooms for your ninjutsu exam. Rest up, have lunch, and prepare. I wish all of you the best of luck," Haruka said before he and the rest of his colleagues vanished in swirl of leaves. Naruto was about to leave when Sasuke blocked his way. "You need something, team? Tell me about your taijutsu style dope. I need such a technique for my goals," Sasuke said with a menacing glower, only for Naruto to release a bit of his killing intent on him. When Naruto's killing intent hit the Uchiha, he froze in fear. Sasuke saw himself dying in various ways. After a moment, the pressure subsided, causing the Uchiha to pant out. "What was that? A bit of killing intent and you are reduced to a shivering mess. I thought the Uchiha were elites," Naruto mocked, causing all of Sasuke's fangirls to screech at Naruto. Naruto directed a bit of his killing intent on them, reducing them to blubbering messes. "Now let me tell you something, Uchiha Sasuke. A ninja does not give away his or her secrets. As to you learning my taijutsu style, you do not have the chakra requirement to perform it. The only ones in Konoha who can learn my style is Hokage and a few of the top jonin we have. Other than that, no other person, let alone a soon-to-be genin, has enough chakra to learn the style without dying. Now stop bothering me. If you truly want to become stronger, then meet me on top of the Yondaime's head tomorrow at dawn." With his piece said, Naruto vanished in a swirl of leaves as well. Sasuke just grunted before he walked away from the group. "Welcome everyone. As we call your name, please enter the room for your ninjutsu exam. Till then, I ask that everyone stay outside," Haruka said, getting nods from everyone. After everyone left, Haruka started calling names alphabetically. After half an hour, they called for Naruto. "Alright Naruto, show us your henge." Naruto nodded and transformed into the Yondaime Hokage, shocking the glowering Mizuki and serious Haruka. Both Chunin took care to note the resemblance between Naruto and the Yondaime Hokage. Is he related to the Yondaime? I must ask Hokage-sama about this. Haruka thought to himself while he nodded in satisfaction. Alright Naruto, now show us the Kawarimi. Please substitute with one of the chairs in the classroom. Mizuki said as Naruto dispelled his henge. Without the use of hand seals, Naruto substituted himself with the farthest chair from his position and back, causing Haruka to clap with happiness. Great job Naruto, and a seal-less jutsu as well. For that, you will be awarded a bonus. Now show us your Bunshin no Jutsu. Create at least 3 clones. Haruka said, causing Naruto to panic for a moment before nodding and performing the basic academy Bunshin no Jutsu. To both his and his teacher's surprise, 10 clones came into existence, out of which 3 were alive, while the rest were dead. What happened? I thought I did it right. Naruto asked in confusion. This is a unique case. I do not think such a thing has happened before. You succeeded in creating the required 3 clones right, but the rest you created are dead. How much chakra did you use, Naruto? Haruka asked with a confused expression. The barest minimum I can. Why, what happened? Naruto asked with confusion and dread. Naruto, I want you make the ram seal and channel as much chakra as you can. I want to test something. Haruka exclaimed with Mizuki giving off an irritated aura. Naruto nodded and started channeling as much chakra as he could without tapping into Kurama's chakra. Around him, a huge aura of blue chakra formed as cracks appeared on the floor under his feet and around him. A strong wind formed as well, causing Haruka and Mizuki to shout at him to stop. Outside, all of the genin hopefuls along with the Hokage felt the massive chakra signature. What's emitting such a massive chakra signature? It centered on the academy. Hiruzen thought before he stood up. Anbu, I am going to the academy. I want you 4 to be ready for anything. Hiruzen said before he, along with his hidden Anbu, vanished in swirls of leaves. After Naruto stopped channeling his chakra, he looked around to see the devastation that had happened. He sheepishly rubbed the back of his head as he saw the cracks on the floor and the chairs closest to him lying broken on the ground. I think I see what the problem with your Bunshin is, Naruto. You have excessively much chakra to perform the academy standard jutsu. I will say that you have good chakra control for the size of your reserve though. The jutsu should have failed completely instead of being a partial success. Haruka said just as the Hokage and his Anbu entered the classroom. Hokage-sama. Haruka exclaimed as he and Mizuki stood up. Hey Jiji. How you been? The Hokage nodded a greeting before surveying the scene. He carefully observed the carnage and the traces of chakra left from Naruto's previous show. After a moment, he nodded to himself. What happened, Haruka? Who was the source of such dense chakra? Oh no, Hokage-sama, it was Naruto. After he performed the Bunshin no Jutsu, we saw that 3 were perfect while the rest 7 were dead. After thinking about it, I asked him to make the ram sign and channel as much chakra as he could. The chakra signature you felt was the result of Naruto following my order. Your thoughts on the result? I conclude that he has as much, if not more chakra than you, Hokage-sama. He will never be able to perform the Bunshin no Jutsu satisfactorily. He will need a more chakra-intensive Bunshin to pass, probably an element-based one. Haruka reported with Mizuki nodding in agreement. Alright then, Buta, get me a chakra litmus paper. We shall see what type of Bunshin jutsu young Naruto-kun has an affinity to. The Hokage commanded, causing the pig mask Anbu to vanish in a swirl of leaves. Turning his attention Naruto, Hiruzen was surprised at the boy's new attire. You look like a shinobi, Naruto-kun. When did you get it? My godfather sent it to me this morning through his summons, along with these books on Kenjutsu co-written by Uzumaki Kushina and Namikaze Minato. Najiji, I was meaning to ask. Have I any relation to Uzumaki Kushina? She wrote that some of the theories she was writing were used by her clan. Hiruzen started at what Naruto had asked. Even the Anbu, Haruka, and Mizuki were attentively listening to what he would say. After a moment, Hiruzen sighed. You are related to her. After all, she was your mother. I had planned to keep it secret until you made Chunin. Kumo had an unhealthy interest in her and her lineage. I feared that if they knew that you were her son, they would try to abduct you as well. Naruto nodded with a happy expression on his face. So Kumo has tried to abduct a clan heir before the Haika incident. Haruka said before he blushed in embarrassment at Hiruzen's attention. Seeing the fidgeting Chunin, Hiruzen just nodded before turning his attention back to Naruto. The Uzumaki clan was distant cousins of the Senju clan. They had their own village, Yuzushiogakure no Sen. We were allies through the marriage of the Shodai Hokage and Uzumaki Mito, the then heiress of the clan. Mito-sama was your mother's great aunt. You have inherited their will, Naruto-kun. To the best of my knowledge, you are the last of the Uzumaki, just as Sasuke-kun is the last of the Uchiha. Just let your heart guide you and you will honor your clan. They were people who followed their hearts after all. Hiruzen said just as Buta walked into the room dragging Yamanaka Ino and Inyazuka Kiba with him. Hokage-sama, these two were eavesdropping on what you were talking about, and here is the chakra litmus paper. Buta said as he let go of the two and handed Hiruzen the sheet of chakra litmus paper. Hiruzen nodded before turning to the two genin hopefuls. What you two heard are A-class secrets. As you have heard, Naruto-kun's life would be in danger if word got out. Speak without Naruto-kun's or my permission and you will be imprisoned. Hiruzen said with a glare causing the two to shiver in fright and vigorously nod in agreement. I don't think Kumo would try such a thing again. Not after failing both of their previous abduction attempts, Gigi. There is no need to keep it secret any longer. Naruto said, causing Hiruzen to look at the blonde Jinchuriki in a new light. After thinking for a moment, he nodded. Alright Naruto-kun, take this paper and channel some of your chakra into it. What happens to it will reveal your chakra affinity. Naruto silently nodded his head as he took the paper and channeled his chakra into it. To his surprise, the paper tore into quarters with each quarter having a different reaction. One became wet, while another crumbled to dust, yet another crumpled up, while the last burned to ash. So what does that mean, Gigi? It means that you have all the affinities, Naruto-kun, truly astounding. Hiruzen exclaimed with a gobsmacked expression. Anyway, I will have an Anbu teach you Mizubunshin no Jutsu. You will have a week to master it. I will see how well you do a week from now. If you can show me that you have mastered Mizubunshin to an acceptable degree, you will pass. Now, why do not you and young Inyazuka-kun step outside so that young Yamanaka-chan can take her test? After that all of you will be free for the day. Thanks Gigi. Come on dog breath, let's get out of here. Naruto said, dragging the protesting Inyazuka along with him. What happened in there? Naruto turned his attention to the source of the voice to see Shikamaru staring at him and Kiba like a hawk. Kiba just shrugged before walking away with Akamaru sitting on his head. Naruto was about to do the same when Shikamaru placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. I know that the chakra presence was yours, Naruto. What happened? Naruto sighed before he said, I have more chakra than Hokage Gigi. It is a common factor in my clan. We do not have unique Kekai Genkai or clan-specific chakra natures like yours. What we do have are our innate talent with Genjutsu, denser and large chakra reserves and a very strong vitality. Because of that, my Bunshin failed. I was able to create 3 good clones and 7 dead ones. Iruka-sensei asked me to channel as much of my chakra as I could. What you felt was doing as I was asked. I see, so you didn't pass. I will have to redo the ninjutsu exam a week from now after I have been taught the Mizubunshin no Jutsu from an Anbu Gigi will assign to teach me. See you during team assignments. Naruto said as he walked away from the intrigued Nara. Shikamaru watched as Naruto approached Sakura before they started quietly whispering to each other. He just cocked an eyebrow before turning around and walking up to Choji. Something interests you, Shika. Naruto and Sakura are behaving very strangely today. Either they are better shinobi that everyone gave them credit for or something else is going on. You are just clutching at straws, Shika. Ninja are supposed to be secretive of their lives. Most civilian families do not like Naruto much, most of all Sakura's mother. They must have kept their friendship secret so that her mother did not pull her out of the academy. Now that Sakura is assured to become a Kunoichi, they decided not to hide anymore. Choji said as he munched on a packet of potato chips. Hey guys, you won't believe what I heard. Ino exclaimed as she hurried over to the two along with a few of her usual female friends. Mendikus, what did you learn now, Ino? Shikamaru asked with a bored tone that went unnoticed by Ino and her friends. Naruto is part of a clan. He is the last of his clan just like Sasuke-kun, and his clan and the Senju were allied and distant cousins. He also has an affinity to all the chakra natures. Ino said with a grin causing the girls to start whispering. Shikamaru just sighed and ignored the blonde loudmouth girl. Naruto was sitting on the swing, waiting to see if Mizuki would approach him or not. As he waited, he caught Sakura's eyes and shook his head, signifying that Mizuki had not approached him yet. Sakura nodded before she saw Mizuki approaching Naruto. With a couple of slight motions of her finger, she quickly told Naruto that she would meet him at the cabin before she turned and walked towards her mother, who was watching her silent conversation with Naruto. That was quite impressive, Naruto. I wish you did not have to wait 1 more week to pass. I know you can do it. Mizuki said with false enthusiasm, getting a nod from Naruto who acted as if he was depressed. Why so down? You didn't fail. You still have a chance to pass if you work hard this week, or you could take the secret test and pass tonight. What secret test, Mizuki-sensei? Mizuki smiled while he inwardly grinned in anticipation. A secret makeup test. It is offered to those who have failed for some reason but have great potential. With your heritage, determination, and you having all the chakra natures, I think you qualify to take the test. What do you say? Will you take the test? Then you will also become the Rookie of the Year. Naruto's eyes widened in glee as Mizuki grinned. Of course, Mizuki-sensei, I will take the test and then I will be 1 step closer to become Hokage. Naruto exclaimed, causing Mizuki to hide a malicious smile before he nodded in false happiness. That's great, Naruto, this is what you have to do. As Mizuki whispered something to Naruto, the boy nodded with enthusiasm, though to those who knew him well would see that he was faking it. Naruto appeared in the clearing in a swirl of leaves. The forbidden scroll strapped to his back. After laying the forbidden scroll on the ground, he took out an empty scroll, an inkwell and a brush before he started reading through the forbidden scroll, writing down any jutsu that he and Kurama thought would be useful. After nearly half an hour, he rolled up the forbidden scroll and strapped it back onto his back. He blew on the fresh ink to dry it so that he could roll up the scroll and place it back in his equipment pouch. Alright, now that the scroll is dry, I can get to learn that new jutsu. Naruto exclaimed before he created 100 kage bunshin. Alright you guys, you know the hand seals, get to practicing. Alright boss. The clones called out as they started practicing the jutsu Naruto asked of them. For the next hour, the clone practiced the jutsu while the original was meditating with a bit of senjutsu chakra flowing through him, allowing him to sense if anyone is close by. When the hour was nearly up, Sakura walked into the clearing ready for war. Hello Sakura-chan, you are just in time. Haruka-sensei and Mizuki team are close by. They should be here within 5 minutes. Naruto said as he let the natural energy return to nature as he stood up. Sakura nodded her head as Naruto started dispelling his clone. Huh, I didn't expect them to become proficient with the jutsu already. What jutsu did you learn Naruto? Sakura asked with curiosity only for Naruto to grin. You will see when I use it on Mizuki team. Naruto said causing Sakura to huff, but not an understanding. Alright, then I will hide using Magiragakure no jutsu. Naruto nodded as Sakura submerged into the ground without even leaving a trace of her presence. Why would Naruto steal the forbidden scroll? Haruka thought as he rushed through the forest surrounding Konoha. As he was passing close by to an abandoned cabin, he sensed Naruto's chakra signature. Changing his direction, he quickly rushed towards Naruto for an explanation. Within a couple of minutes, Haruka appeared on the branch of a tall tree and saw Naruto creating a few kage bunshin before dispelling them and again creating a few before dispelling them again. Naruto, what are you doing? Haruka called out as he jumped down from the tree and landed beside the blonde-haired Jinchuriki. Haruka-sensei, I found you. Naruto exclaimed only for Haruka to shout out, Baka, I am the one who found you. What were you thinking stealing the forbidden scroll of sealing? But Mizuki-sensei said that if I could steal it and learn a jutsu from it, I would pass and become the rookie of the year. Naruto said with confusion, hoping that Haruka will not realize that he was faking being confused. After all, he already knew the test was a lie. Mizuki, but why would he say something like that? Haruka said before he heard the sound of a shuriken flying towards them. Haruka looked up to see a Fukma shuriken flying towards Naruto's back. Naruto was about to jump away when Haruka pushed him out of the way, the Fukma shuriken digging deep into Haruka's chest. Coughing up blood, Haruka glared up at Mizuki. So that was your plan Mizuki. Have Naruto steal the forbidden scroll, then you come by and kill him. Do you hate him that much? Mizuki laughed at that, you are naive Haruka. It is not that I hate the Gaki. In fact, he and I are a lot similar. Like me, he took the first chance to become stronger. I will take the scroll after killing you two and then head to Orochimaru-sama. He shall then grant me great strength. Haruka and Naruto frowned as Mizuki declared that. I won't let you get the scroll team. I hate traitors and you will die your treachery. Naruto screamed as he threw a Futon chakra-coated kunai at Mizuki who just leaned back, letting the kunai punch through the tree trunk behind Mizuki. Naruto, have you wondered why the village seems to hate you? Mizuki said with a sick grin causing Haruka to panic while Naruto put on a curious look. No Mizuki, you mustn't. It is forbidden. Haruka called out before he coughed up a bit of blood. Let me tell you then, you are the Kikbi no Imp. You are the demon fox that attacked Konoha 12 years ago. Mizuki said expecting Naruto to freeze up. Unfortunately, for the traitor, Naruto just lowered his head, causing his bangs to cover his eyes. After a moment, a small chuckle left Naruto causing both Chunin to stare at the blonde Jinchuriki in shock. You really don't understand Fukinjutsu, do you team? Moreover, we have known about the Kikbi for a long time now. Isn't that right Sakura-chan? Naruto said causing both of the Chunin to look at him in confusion. What do you mean Naruto? Sakura isn't here. Haruka said just before the ground under Mizuki exploded with the pink-haired Kunoichi emerging from the newly created hole with her fist cocked back. Ta! Sakura chanted as she struck Mizuki with a chakra-enhanced punch, launching the traitor back before he puffed into smoke, revealing a splintered log. Using a quick shunshin, Sakura appeared beside Haruka. Hold on Haruka-sensei. I will heal you up. Before Haruka could even protest, Sakura pulled the Fukma shuriken out and placed a green glowing hand on the wound. Haruka looked surprised but smiled when the soothing feeling of the Iram chakra permeated the wound, causing it to heal up quickly. After Haruka was healed up, Sakura turned to Naruto and asked, Naruto, where is the team? He is on the tree at 9 o'clock from our position, Naruto said, as the sides of eyes were pigmented orange again. His sclera was now yellow, and his pupils were horizontal bars. Sakura nodded before she rushed towards the tree and with a single punch, caused it to fall as the punch reduced the base to tinder. How is she this string? Haruka asked in awe as he watched Sakura take down the large tree with a single punch. If I am not mistaken, it seems to be like Tsunade-sama's famed super strength technique. That's exactly what it is. Sakura-chan has perfect chakra control. She is using that control to release burst of chakra to increase her strength many times over. She decided to surpass Tsunade of the Densetsu no Sannin. Haruka nodded when he noticed Naruto's eyes. What happened to your eyes? Oh, it is the final state of my taijutsu style. I merge my chakra with natural energy and coat my body in it. It strengthens my strength to levels even beyond Sakura-chan's, while it also gives me very strong sensory abilities. If I need to, I can fight Mizuki with my eyes closed. Naruto said, causing Haruka to gape at Naruto before an explosion drew his attention to Sakura and Mizuki's fight. He watched as multiple explosive tags exploded around Sakura. To his shock, Sakura was not there when the smoke cleared. Sakura-chan is wasting too much time. She doesn't have the stamina to continue for much long. Naruto said, causing Haruka to look worried. Before he could voice his worry, Sakura appeared beside them from underground. I thought he would be a pushover and he is, but he isn't letting me get close enough. You will have to defeat him, Naruto. I will watch over Haruka-sensei. Sakura said as she panted lightly. Naruto created 5 clones and rushed Mizuki, who was drinking some kind of purple liquid from a vial. Just as Naruto and his clones reached Mizuki, the traitor convulsed before he started mutating into a man-lion hybrid. Jumping back, Naruto and his clones watched with disgust as Mizuki's muscles bulged up and his hand and feet grew claws. What the hell is happening with him? Haruka asked, only for Mizuki to give a demonic laugh. This is just a bit of the power Orochimaru-sama has offered me. Now all of you will die here. Mizuki said before he rushed towards Naruto and his clones with increased speeds. Just as Mizuki was about to bring down his clawed hand at Naruto, a clone kicked the mutated Mizuki away as the original was weaving hand seals. What will a puny jutsu do to me? Mizuki called out, seeing Naruto weaving hand seals. As Mizuki was about to mock Naruto some more, Naruto finished weaving all the hand seals. Hakuanjim no jutsu, Naruto called out, causing Haruka to gasp as he himself, Sakura and Mizuki were caught in the technique. That's the Nidame's Jinjutsu. A measly Jinjutsu, you expect to defeat me with a Jinjutsu? Mizuki called out as he brought his hands into the ram seal and released a pulse of chakra while calling out, Kai. To the man's surprise, the Jinjutsu was not being dispelled. What is happening? Why isn't the Jinjutsu dispelling? That particular Jinjutsu was created by the Nidame before the creation of Konoha. It is a real illusion. Even the vaunted Sharingan or the all-seeing Byakugan are blind under the effects of this technique. Naruto said as he rushed towards the blind Mizuki and proceeded to beat the man unconscious. After 5 minutes of constant pummeling, Naruto dispelled the Jinjutsu, revealing a bloody and bruised Mizuki, returning to his former human form. So you learned a Jinjutsu? I did not think you could learn any Jinjutsu with those massive chakra coils of yours. Sakura said, causing Naruto to pout. Ah, don't be like that, Sakura-chan. Naruto whined when Hiruzen appeared in the clearing with 4 Anbu. Ah, Jiji, you got my message. That I have, Naruto-kun. I do not agree with your methods, but I am happy that your plan succeeded. Not only do we have proof that Mizukui was a traitor, you and Sakura-chan have proved that you two have good teamwork and are very skilled. Now let us head to my office so that I can debrief you two and Haruka-kun. Hiruzen said, getting nods from the 3. Anbu, take Mizuki to T&I and tell Anko and Ibiki that they have free rein on him. I want every little information they can drag out of his worthless carcass. The Anbu nodded as they picked up the unconscious Mizuki and vanished in puffs of smoke and leaves. Congratulations you two for completing your first A-ranked mission. It would have been a B-ranked one, but with Mizuki transforming into that weird hybrid creature, an A rank is warranted. You can pick up your pay from the mission desk after you get your formal license. Now I have been waiting to ask this, but why did you two hide your abilities? Seeing the stern expression on Hiruzen's face, Sakura gulped, but Naruto just grinned. A ninja is supposed to look underneath the underneath. That means we have to see through deception. If deceptions are so common in a shinobi lifestyle, why not use it to cause enemies to underestimate us? Therefore, we decided to hide our abilities until we are forced to reveal them. Are we in trouble, Jiji? No, you aren't, Naruto-kun, Sakura-chan. I just wanted to see why you two did it. I understand your reasoning. You two will be splendid ninja in the future. Both of you show the characteristic we look for in Konoha Chunin and Jonin. Your teamwork was exemplary and your individual abilities were nothing to sneeze at as well. If what I suspect of your abilities is true, then I can say that with a bit of experience, both of you will become Jonin within the year. Hiruzen said, getting a nervous smile from Sakura and a bright grin from Naruto. You can hand over the hat within the year, Jiji, Dada boyo. Naruto exclaimed as he stood up only for Sakura to pull him down back to his seat by his ear. Itai, let go, Sakura-chan. Calm down, Baka. If you keep behaving like that, I will oppose you getting the hat. Any Kage is supposed to both be the strongest shinobi and the one with the coolest head as well. The Kage is not only a leader. He or she is also a diplomat who helps keep the peace between the villages though talks. You still have a long way to go before you are ready to become Hokage. Hiruzen and Iruka watched with amusement as Sakura scolded the overexcitable blonde Jinchuriki, who had a sheepish expression on his face. Ahem, Hiruzen coughed, getting the two genins' attention. Sakura blushed in embarrassment while Naruto turned his attention to the old man with a curious expression on his face. As much as I am amused with watching Sakura-chan scolding you, Naruto-kun, I have a large amount of paperwork to go through, an amount that is increased by a great margin due to Mizuki's duplicity. So I would suggest you two head home and have a good night's sleep. Sure thing, Gigi, but why don't you use Kage Bunshin to help you do the paperwork? With the memory transfer ability, you would be done in half the time if you use only one clone, not to mention multiple clones. Naruto said with a confused expression while Sakura and Iruka observed Hiruzen's wizened face change expressions from confused to shocked to self-loathing to suspicion. Thank you for the tip, Naruto-kun, but how did you know about Kage Bunshin and its memory transfer ability? I may have peeked into the forbidden scroll and learned a couple of jutsu from it. Naruto exclaimed with a nervous expression as Hiruzen stared at Naruto with an unimpressed expression on his face. What did you learn? Hiruzen asked with a tone that brooked no argument. Kage Bunshin and its derivatives and the Nidame's Kakuanjim no Jutsu, nothing else, I promise. Hiruzen stared for a few moments before sighing. Alright, Naruto-kun, now that I think about it, how did you defeat Mizuki within the field? It blinds everyone within range including the user. You have to be a sensor of unparalleled skill to be able to fight blinded. Hokage-sama, he said something about coating his body with chakra mixed with natural energy, whatever that is, allowing him great strength similar to Tsunade-sama's and strong sensory abilities, stronger than mine. Iruka said, getting a gasp from Hiruzen. Do you know how dangerous it was using Senjutsu? You could have become a stone statue. Hiruzen exclaimed as he moved beside Naruto's chair and kneeled down in front of the fidgeting genin. How did you even learn of the technique? Accidentally, Gigi, while meditating in training ground 44, I sensed a powerful presence all around me. I subconsciously started absorbing the energy and mixing it with my chakra when I felt a funny feeling in my feet. When I opened my eyes, I saw my feet starting to become stone. Using all my concentration to force the energy out before attempting to do it again, this time consciously and more carefully, after a few more failed attempts, I succeeded in being able to do it without becoming stone. I was experimented with it as I felt it was incomplete when I saw a small toad in the forest fighting a small snake. I sensed both giving off light auras of this natural energy flowing through them. Since I did not like snakes, I studied the toad and tried to copy its techniques. After a few more failed attempts, I was able to recreate the same flow of chakra and natural energy within the toad within me. Now I can fight just like that little toad. Naruto said with a grin while inwardly he was sweating in fear of being caught in his lie. Hey Kurama, are you sure the old man will buy that? Sure he will. Do not let another person know about you and that pink-haired teammate of your being from the future. If others try to change the events, the future could turn out even more disastrous than before. Naruto sent a mental nod before turning his full attention back to the aged Hokage. Hiruzen scrutinized Naruto for a few minutes before nodding. Alright, Naruto-kun, I believe you, but know that what you did was very dangerous. I hope you do not plan to teach it to anyone else. In fact, the Toad Summons clan will be interested in you. My student Jiraiya is the present Toad Summoner and human Gamma Sennin. I will see if a representative of the Toad clan will come and meet you. Developing a Senjutsu style alone is rare. To be able to copy another style is unprecedented. Even being able to learn Senjutsu requires a massive chakra reserves and extreme dedication. Hashirama-sensei did what you did. He developed his own Senjutsu style. The monkey summons offered me the chance to become the Seru Sennin, but I declined as I do not have the time to learn their Senjutsu style. Be assured that the Toads will offer you their summoning contract. Hiruzen said, getting an excited nod from Naruto. Remember, Naruto-kun, Senjutsu is a Kenjutsu without a proper trainer or the proper chakra reserves and willpower to use it. Do not teach anyone else. Ah no, Hokage-sama, Naruto had already started teaching me how to make my own Senjutsu style. I already know how to connect with natural energy. I just haven't been able to draw it in it. Sakura said, getting a surprised look from Hiruzen. With a thoughtful look, Hiruzen made the ram hand seal and pulsed his chakra, causing him to look surprised at Sakura's chakra reserves. You have a very large chakra reserve for one your age, who isn't a Jinchuriki and Uzumaki or both. At that, everyone looked at Naruto, who gave a sheepish smile. Most of your chakra feels spiritual in nature instead of physical, so it means that your chakra is mostly made of yin chakra. You have the reserves to learn Senjutsu, but I would advise building up your yang chakra a bit more before attempting to mix natural energy with your chakra. Sakura nodded in understanding before she stood up and bowed. Thank you Hokage-sama, I will make sure to do as you advised. Hiruzen nodded and made a small dismissing motion, causing the two academy graduates and their teacher to stand up and move towards the door when a small puff of smoke caught the group's attention. Wait a moment you three. Gamaharu, what have you come here for at this time of night? Hokage-sama, I bear a message from Jiraiya-sama. Here is the scroll he entrusted to me, a small brown toad said as he handed Hiruzen a wrapped scroll, who took it with a small thank you. I shall be leaving now, have a nice night. Wait Gamaharu, I have need of you. Young Naruto-kun, there seems to have developed a senjutsu style similar to your clan style senjutsu. I want you to inform your sages and leader and see if they are interested in meeting with him. Hiruzen said, causing Gamaharu to look at Naruto in shock. Tiled, would you please go into Senin MMDM? I need to see if it is true. Naruto nodded and calmed himself before he started drawing in the natural energy around him and mixed it with high chakra. Orange markings formed around his eyes that had turned yellow with orange bar-like pupils. Gamaharu observed the young blonde Jinchuriki for a few moments before he summoned an old green toad with grey beard, a cloak, and a wooden staff. Gamaharu, why have you summoned me at this time of night? The old toad asked, only to see Naruto in his Senin MMDM. You child, who are you? How did you learn our style of senjutsu? I am Uzumaki Naruto, the future Hokage, Dadaboyo. The old toad nodded. I accidentally created an incomplete form of senjutsu which I then perfected after seeing a toad and a snake using senjutsu fight in training ground 44. Since I do not like snakes, I recreated the same flow to the toads. Am I in trouble Gamajiji? The old toad stared at him with a scrutinizing expression before he hopped onto Naruto's shoulder and stared at his eyes. After a few moments, the toad nodded to himself and jumped back to Hiruzen's desk. You have an unconventional prodigy here Hokage Dono. Jiraiya has kept an eye on the child from time to time through us. We all know that he is not a good shinobi, but he has determination similar to Jiraiya-chan himself. He has been hiding his abilities, it seems, along with the pink-haired girl. His present reserves are rival that of Senju Hashirama at his prime. The girl has a greater reserve than Tsunade-chan's when she fought Hanzo. These two shall be great in the future. I think so too, Fukasaku Dono. What will you do with Naruto-kun? I thought that you and your clan deserved to know that he created a copy of your style. His one is still crude to a certain degree. I will talk to Gamabunta and see if I can get him permission to sign our contract. It should not be a problem, and I am sure that Jiraiya-chan would offer him the same in the future. Meet me at Training Ground 9 the day after tomorrow at noon. I want to see how far you are along with your mastery of our senjutsu style. Bunta will be there along with my wife to evaluate your worth. If you impress all three of us, I will take over your senjutsu training personally and make sure that you become in tune with nature to the same degree Senju Hashirama was. What do you say? I would be honored Gamajiji. Call me Pa, Naruto-chan. I am sure that you and the Toad clan will become close. Naruto nodded in agreement as he grinned. Then I shall be off. Good night Hokage Dono, and I hope that you don't mind us using Training Ground 9 2 days from now. Not at all Fukasaku Dono, in fact I and Enma would love to watch you evaluate him. The old toad nodded before he disappeared in a puff of smoke along with Gamaharu. Alright, off to bed with you two and Iruka. I want you here after lunch tomorrow to discuss potential teams. With the new revelations, the teams may need to be readjusted. No Jiji, what about my makeup ninjutsu exam? I learned the Kage Bunshin, so shouldn't I have already passed? Naruto asked, getting a surprised look from Iruka and Hiruzen. After compassing themselves, both nodded to the young blonde Jinchuriki. But you do Naruto-kun. You have mastered the hardest variant of the Bunshin no Jutsu. Come back here tomorrow for your headband. No Hokage-sama, if I may? Iruka asked, motioning to his own hit I-8, causing Hiruzen to nod in understanding. Iruka turned to Naruto. Please close your eyes Naruto. Sakura watched as Naruto closed his eyes and waited. Iruka took off his hit I-8 and then placed it on Naruto's forehead and tied it at the back. Congratulations Naruto, as of this moment, you are a proud shinobi of Konoha. Wear my old hit I-8 with pride. I know you will honor the meaning it holds to a ninja of the leaf. Thank you Iruka-sensei. I promise to make you proud. Naruto said with tears in his eyes. Beside him, Sakura watched with pride and hidden affection. Ahem, I think that you three must be going. I will quickly handle the paperwork and head home as well. Hiruzen said, causing the three to blush before nodding and vanishing in swirls of leaves. Hiruzen smiled before he created 10 Kage Bunshin and started going through the mound of paperwork. Why have you called me here elders? A gigantic red toad asked as he hopped into a shrine-like building where an equally gigantic yet extremely old toad sat with two smaller toads sitting beside the old one. I called a meeting between you and the elder due to a human child who has gained my attention. Fukasaku said, getting a surprised looks from the female toad and the gigantic red toad. The old one ignored everything happening around him. Why has a human garnered your attention elder Fukasaku? The red toad asked with surprise, getting a laugh from Fukasaku. Why wouldn't he, Gamabunta? He created an incomplete senjutsu style, and then after observing a fight between one of our own and one of Manda's in the Forest of Death, he recreated the same flow of senjutsu chakra we use. He even showed me that he was able to go into Senin MMDM without help. I have asked that we spar 2 days from now at noon, at Training Ground 9 in Konoha. I want to see how far along he is. I wanted to ask you two to help me evaluate his abilities. Who is the child Pa? Minato-chan's son Ma. From the reports he may seem an idiot without talent, but it seems that he and his friend has been hiding their true abilities. A true prodigy if I say so myself. Either that or he learns kinesthetically instead of reading about it. If it is the second one, then he may have trouble learning about Kenjutsu. It would be a shame if he can't learn Kenjutsu. Both his parents were great masters of that nearly lost art. Gamabunta said, getting nods from the two elders while the large elder seemed to be sleeping. So what do we do about the boy? Do we wait until Jiraiya-chan gives Naruto-chan the chance to sign the contract, or do we offer it to him? Ma asked with confusion, getting thoughtful looks from Gamabunta and Fukasaku. Let us evaluate him first. Then we can think of offering him the contract. Gamabunta said, only for a cough to get their attention. They turned to see the extremely old toad cough and sit up straight. Great Elder? Fukasaku asked with trepidation. The Great Elder never gets himself directly involved with clan matters unless he gets a vision. Fukasaku was afraid of what the elder had seen now. Tell me, does the child have blonde hair, blue eyes, and whisker marks on his cheek? The Great Elder asked, causing the 3 other toads' eyes to widen in shock. This was the most lucid sentence they heard out of him. Not even the toad sages, Ma and Pa, had heard him ever being lucid. Yes, he does, old geezer. Ma said with a shocked face, getting a small chuckle out of the old toad. Good, that is very good indeed. We have found the Imjin no KM. Offer him the contract outright. I shall take him in as my apprentice as I had Hagoromo. The Great Elder said, causing the other 3 toads to gape at the old toad. Not in living memory did anyone know of the Great Elder taking an apprentice. Of course, Great Elder, the 3 toads exclaimed in unison. And call the present toad summoner here as well. I wish to speak with him. Last time I spoke with him, I was too deep in a trance to tell him all that he needs to know. I want him here by tomorrow morning. Moreover, I shall be evaluating him the day after tomorrow, so I shall go with you. The Great Elder said, getting shocked expressions from the 3 toads who just nodded in a stupor. Then go, I must sleep. It has been over a millennium since I had a good night's sleep. The 3 watched as the Great Elder got out of his chair and moved to the unused bed made of leaves on the other side of the chamber. He laid down and promptly started snoring, causing the 3 toads to stare in surprise. What should we do now? Gamabunta asked, getting a shrug from the 2 younger elders. Why don't we just get out of here and go to sleep? I can reverse summon Jiraiya-chan tomorrow for his meeting with the Great Elder. We do not have to discuss Naruto-chan's situation anymore. The Great Elder has already decided to take him as his apprentice. We cannot overrule his decision, not when he finally decided to involve himself in clan matters again. Ma and Gamabunta nodded in agreement before the toad boss headed towards his home, while Ma and Pa left for their hut. Gamabunta was sitting at the edge of Training Ground 9, with Ma and Pa sitting on his head. On his left side, on a tree branch, Hiruzen and Enma were sitting while drinking a cup of steaming green tea. On his right, Sakura was sitting on a tree branch while pursuing a scroll of advanced medical techniques. On the other side of the tree that Sakura was sitting on, an old man with white hair, wearing an ornate kimono with a hit I8 engraved with the kanji for oil on his forehead. The white-haired man was going through a notepad and perversely giggling at random intervals. Naruto was sitting in the middle of the field, meditating. The area around his closed eyes was pigmented orange. To those sensitive enough, they could sense the subtle flow of nature energy form the surrounding into the meditating blonde shinobi, and then out of him. To the eyes of the experienced sages, they could see that the child was close to mastering Senin MMDM. How the hell did the Gaki become this good in such a short time without any help? It should be impossible. Minato, Kushina, I hope you are watching over him. You two would be proud of how he is turning out to be. The white-haired man thought before returning his attention back to the notepad in his hands. For the next half an hour, the group waited for the Great Elder to arrive, only for Ma to keep getting agitated until she finally exploded. Where the hell is that old geezer? First he commands us that he will test the child, and now he is late. Calm down, Ma, I am sure the Great Elder will be here soon. Jiraiya said, getting a glare from the old purple toad. This is unbecoming of a sage Shimadono. Enma said, only for Ma to turn her frosty glare at the Monkey King. Besides, I have been here for nearly an hour. A disembodied voice called out, causing everyone but Naruto to jump in shock. A strong whirlwind formed on top of the trees behind the place everyone was sitting before dissipating to reveal the Great Elder sitting on a tree much too small to hold his weight, yet not even bending in the slightest. How did we not sense you, Great Elder? Fukasaku asked in shock, only for the Great Elder to chuckle. You lot still have a lot to learn about being a sage. You two are good but not good enough yet. A sage meant to become one with nature. You lot just absorb the natural energy and mold it with your chakra to produce Senjutsu chakra. A true sage would keep the natural energy flowing like the child is doing now. He sensed me the moment I arrived because he was flowing the natural energy through him instead of completely absorbing it to create Senjutsu chakra. The great elder said, getting shocked looks from everyone present. Child, tell everyone how it felt when I was hiding. The place you were seemed to be vacant, yet the concentration of natural energy was considerably greater than normal, and the flow there was unnatural to a certain degree. The great elder nodded with a pleased smile. And the feeling of the rest. I could sense their chakra levels, their health, and even to a certain degree, their emotions. Is that normal? Yes, that is normal for the style you used. The style Fukasaku-chan and Shima-chan uses is the imperfect version of Gama-sen and MMDM. Tell me, why did you decide to flow nature energy through you instead of absorbing it? I was training to decrease the time I needed to create Senjutsu chakra by repeatedly creating and dispersing it. I have decreased the time by at least 5 seconds now. The great elder nodded before he hopped into position in front of Naruto. Keep that up, and when you can do that 10 times within a second, you would have mastered the imperfect version. After that, I will start training you in achieving a constant flow of nature energy even while moving. You will be molding Senjutsu chakra as if you were born with it. With time, you would even be able to rival all the Bijk at the same time, though I doubt young Kurama within you is pleased with my assessment. The great elder said, getting wide-eyed looks from everyone. Kit, tell Gamamaru Jiji that he is still the senile old frog he was the day father died. Kurama roared in anger. Ah, Kurama says that you, Gamamaru Jiji, are still the senile old frog you were the day his father died. Naruto said, getting confused looks from everyone except Sakura and Gamamaru. The great elder laughed in mirth. It seems that the old fox still resents that comment I made about his ears looking like rabbit ones. Naruto laughed as well, while Kurama was roaring in his mind about how his ears did not look like rabbit ones. Anyways, all joking aside, let us spar. I want to see how good you are in the imperfect Senin MMDM. Naruto just nodded as he crouched down before he jumped towards Gamamaru with his fist cocked back. Gamamaru just raised webbed palm and smacked the child away by barely moving his hand. In fact, everyone saw that Gamamaru just waved his hand and Naruto was smacked out of the air 10 feet away from Gamamaru. Use the connection to nature to manipulate the air to dodge such strikes. Gamamaru roared before he swung his staff at Naruto, releasing a wave of visible greenish-blue chakra. Naruto's eyes widened in shock before he calmed himself and tried to do what Gamamaru had told him. He flooded the surrounding air with his Senjutsu chakra before mentally commanding the Senjutsu-infused air to move him high into the air. Everyone watched in shock as Naruto literally flew higher into the air before leveling out in a wobbly hover. Hiruzen and Jiraiya watched in shock as Naruto flew down and tried to strike Gamamaru on the head, only for a wall of greenish wind to cause Naruto to bounce off and nearly crash into a tree. Growling, Naruto used brute force to uproot the tree and then flew up into the sky with the heavy tree. What the hell kind of spar this? Jiraiya asked in surprise, getting nods of agreement from everyone else, even the hidden Anbu. Take this, you old frog. Naruto screamed as he threw the tree down towards Gamamaru, who just thrust a tongue out, glowing with green chakra, and shattered the tree into tinder. Kit, use my power. As much as I hate Senjutsu, if we can combine your Senjutsu with my chakra cloak, then we can fight better with the senile old frog. Maybe even defeat him. Kurama said, causing Naruto to nod his head. But child, you understood what I meant. You have already partially mastered wind manipulation. Now show me your true power, I can sense it bubbling within you. Let it all out. Gamamaru said, causing everyone except Sakura to worry. They all realized that Gamamaru was talking about the Kikbi's power. Everyone watched as Naruto's whole body became clad in a golden cloak of chakra with black sealing lines flowing through it. A shocking development was the absence of malicious killing intent they all expected. The next shocking feature was the Naruto's eyes were still golden with orange eyeshadow and bar-like pupil with a vertical split running through the center of the bar-like pupil. That is what I was looking for, child. Show me how strong you truly are. Gamamaru exclaimed before he tapped the ground beneath his feet with his staff, causing the very earth below Naruto to tremble and transform into a giant toad mouth, which then tried to eat him. Senm. Doku no Hikageru. What kind of jutsu is that? Enma asked as the toad head made of earth tried to eat Naruto, only for the blonde Bijk Senin to fly out of the way before materializing the head of the Kikbi and pointing it down towards the rising toad head. Balls of blue and red chakra started gathering in front of the Kikbi head before compressing into a black ball of dense black chakra. When the ball was the size of the fox's head, it contracted before the fox head roared, releasing the ball. The child already knows how to create a Bijkama. The black ball glowed orange-red as it collided with the earthen toad head and exploded, releasing a massive shockwave. Gamamaru just waved a hand causing a shield of green wind to materialize in front of him. When the shockwave dissipated, only a crater remained with Naruto flying in the air, the fox's head still materialized, and Gamamaru calmly dispelling his wind barrier. Good, you and Kurama are well synchronized. In time, you two will be able to work together even better. Now I want to see you go into Bigchem MDM. Gamamaru demanded, getting a feral grin from Kurama's disembodied head. With a sudden spike in chakra pressure, a body formed under the head, clawed hands and feet along with 9 flowing golden tails appeared as well. In front of the group, the Kyuubi stood with all its majesty. The Kyuubi? It's free. What should we do? The civilians screamed in shock as the younger generation who learned that the Kyuubi had been killed watched in awe as a giant old toad jumped into the air and created a swirling ball of greenish-blue water from thin air before launching it at the Kyuubi. With a single flick of one of its 9 tails, the Kyuubi easily crushed the ball of water before throwing a large tree at the hovering toad who raised his fist, glowing with a deep greenish-violet chakra, and rammed it into the tree, causing the greenish-violet chakra to immediately encompass the tree before the tree disintegrated to nothing. Sen. Hakai Ken. Alright Gamamaru Jiji, Naruto and I give up. We know when we are defeated, and since this is just an evaluation spar, I do not think going any farther would be wise. Not with the amount of destruction that would happen to Konoha. Finally learn some humility, have you Kurama? Hagoromo would be proud of you. In addition, you young Naruto, you have proved yourself of strong mind, being able to remain happy and sane, even with the burden of holding the great Kyuubi no Imp from the world. What's more, you have been able to remove the hatred he had for humans and befriend him, gaining a great ally to fall back on, should you find yourself overwhelmed. I accept you as a toad summoner and my own apprentice, the first after Otsutsuki Hagoromo, the Rikiden Sennin. As his descendant, I expect great things from you. The old toad sage said before he landed atop one of the trees under him. The populace of Konoha saw the Kyuubi land opposite the toad and bowed. As the brat really removed the hate from the Kyuubi's heart. One of the civilians asked, getting confused looks from the children near her. It seems so, and has complete mastery of its power as well. We should have trusted Yondaime-sama's sealing skills and his trust in the child. He should have been honored as a hero. A man said, getting a scoff from another man. Hell no, it just proves that he was the demon himself. We should have killed it before it had regained its power. Now it will just wait until it grows bored with playing a human and kill us. Just give him a chance. If he had such power for so long, Konoha would have been destroyed long ago. A woman said when an Anbu team appeared on a nearby rooftop, along with many Jonin and Chunin appearing on neighboring rooftops. A Jonin with silver hair, masked face and his hit eye covering half of his face, walked forward with a shocked expression. This can't be happening. How can a child barely 12 years old tame the Kyuubi? He is now like the Hachibi Jinchuriki. The man exclaimed hysterically when an Anbu walked up to the man and patted his shoulder. I don't know how he did it, but he should be respected for achieving the impossible. He just graduated the academy and already an S-rank ninja. With the power of the Kyuubi at his disposal, there would be very few able to defeat him in battle. You should be proud of him, Kakashi-senpai. He did what your sensei hoped he would. Yondaime-sama's trust in the child was spot on. Kakashi nodded before he rushed towards Training Ground 9 when the Kyuubi dissipated, causing a small figure to fall from the sky. Should we follow him? An Anbu asked, getting a nod from his companion before all the shinobi and Kunoichi rushed towards Training Ground 9. Naruto. Sakura screamed before she jumped down from her perch and rushed towards the falling Naruto. Hiruzen, Jiraiya, Enma, Fukasaku and Shima following close behind. They all knew that they would fail to reach the blonde Jinchuriki in time, yet still tried when Gamamaru flicked his hand, causing a swirling platform of green wind to catch the falling Naruto before carefully setting him down to the ground. Gamamaru touched the downed blonde shinobi, causing a green glow to suffuse his body before dissipating. Grand Elder, is he alright? Fukasaku asked with concern as Sakura placed a glowing hand on Naruto's chest and another on his navel. Yes, he is. He has just exhausted himself from using so much power. His body is not ready to handle Bigchem MDM for more than a few minutes, especially not Bigchem MDM augmented with Senjutsu. I have already healed him of the damage done to his chakra coils from the intense chakra flowing through him at that moment. He should be up within a few minutes and completely replenished of chakra as well. When he wakes, tell him that I shall start his training after he masters drawing in and releasing of nature energy 10 times in a second. Until then you shall help him master Kawazu Kumite and the various toad-style ninjutsu we have, Fukasaku-chan. Great Elder, if I may ask, what type of ninjutsu were you using? Jiraiya asked as Sakura stood up, causing the green glow around her palms to fade. At this moment, Kakashi and the rest of the shinobi and Kunoichi arrived at the training ground. Hokage-sama, are you alright? An Anbu asked, causing Hiruzen to motion for silence. What I was using wasn't ninjutsu, child. It was ninshu, the techniques created by my student Hagoromo. The one you know as the Rikiden Sennin. Indra, his elder son, created the ninjutsu you use, while his younger son Ashura specialized in ninshu and dabbled in ninjutsu. Ninshu deals with the molding and manipulation of chakra and the elements through willpower. Ninjutsu deals with the same through hand seals. While ninjutsu is easier to learn, ninshu is more potent. Now I must be off. It has been over a millennium since I have fought anything. I must rest. The old toad said before vanished in a puff of smoke. Okage-sama, is it true? Has Naruto-san really mastered the Kikbi's power? A female Anbu with a cat mask asked, getting a nod from the Hokage. But he has, not only that, he has also purified the Kikbi's hatred for humanity and befriended it. With the stunt he and Gamamaru-sama pulled, it seems that I have to make an announcement and prepare for a council meeting. Tori, I want you to go and inform all the councillors of a meeting 2 hours from now, both civilian and shinobi alike. Tori nodded before he vanished in a puff of smoke, leaving behind a swirl of leaves. Here is an old friend, you better get back to your paperwork. I shall keep an eye on young Naruto until he wakes up with this young Kunoichi and the toads. All of you shinobi and Kunoichi, don't you have work to do? Enma said, causing most of the ninja to look sheepish and vanish in puffs of smoke, leaving behind only a couple of ninja and Anbu, among them Kakashi and a male Anbu with a cat mask. All of you get out of here. Naruto-kun isn't a threat. Hiruzen said, getting nods from the stragglers as they all left, leaving behind Kakashi and the Nico Anbu. Why are you still here, Kakashi, Nico? Okage-sama, with all due respect, we just want to make sure that Naruto-san is alright. I respect him for being able to befriend the Kikbi and become a fully realized Jinchuriki at such a young age. Kakashi nodded in agreement with Nico's statement, causing Hiruzen to nod in understanding. Alright, you two keep an eye on him. 2 hours from now, I want you two to bring him to the council meeting room, that is if he wakes up by then. The council and I have much to discuss with him. Bring Sakura-chan as well, she knew about his abilities and has been hiding her own. The ninja council will be interested to know why a civilian did such a thing. Hiruzen said, getting a nod from the two before he vanished in a puff of smoke and leaves. Okage-sama, is it true that the Kikbi has escaped? A civilian councillor asked with fear in his voice as Hiruzen walked into the council meeting chamber. Hiruzen just ignored the man and took his seat. He placed a folder in front of him before he opened it up and checked the contents. For the next few minutes, Hiruzen checked each of the papers within the folder while the civilian council fidgeted. The shinobi council, on the other hand, was staring at Hiruzen with stoic expressions. One of the elders, a man with bandages covering half of his face and his right arm, stared at Hiruzen with an unreadable expression. After what felt like hours, Hiruzen put down the papers before turning his attention to the assembled council. As you know, about 2 hours ago, the Kikbi was seen battling an old toad at Training Ground 9, Hiruzen said, causing everyone to nod in agreement. I shall tell you now that it was a sanctioned spar between our allies, the Toad Summoned Clan and the Kikbi Jinchuriki, wielding the full power of the Kikbi as a fully realized Jinchuriki. You mean to say that you allowed the demon brat to release the Kikbi? One of the civilian councillors asked in an accusatory tone, causing Hiruzen to focus his killing intent on the fool. Anbu, have that man arrested and publicly executed for breaking my law, Hiruzen commanded, causing a female Anbu with a dragon mask to appear and drag the man out of the room after knocking him out. Now does anyone want to interrupt me again? No, Hokage-sama, but may I ask what you meant by fully realized Jinchuriki? Haika Hiyashi, the present head of the Haika clan, asked, getting a nod from Hiruzen. A cough interrupted Hiruzen before he could speak. Turning to the source, Hiruzen saw the bandaged elder had coughed. Yes, Danzo. May I explain, Hiruzen? Hiruzen became suspicious but nodded. My fellow councillors, a fully realized Jinchuriki are Jinchuriki who has the full power of their Bij under their control, to the point of taking up the form of the beast sealed within them. Until now there have been only 2 other fully realized Jinchuriki. The Yonde Mizukage, the Sanbi Jinchuriki, and Karabi, the Hachibi Jinchuriki of Kumo. However, what surprises me is how the child became a fully realized Jinchuriki without formal training. Danzo said, causing Hiruzen to realize what the old warhawk was after. Seeing that the whole council was looking at him for answers, Hiruzen sighed in defeat. I also don't know how he did it. The only thing I know is that he and a friend of his, Haruno Sakura, have been hiding their true abilities for as long as they have been in the academy. Young Naruto is also a sage like Hashirama-sensei was. He created his own variant of Senjutsu and finding it incomplete, he studied the flow of Senjutsu chakra within a toad, summoned fighting against a snake summon in the Forest of Death, and recreated it. Even the sages of Mambakyuzen were surprised. Their great elder, who normally remains in a trance, came personally to test Naruto-kun. While testing him, that was the sanctioned spar, Gamamaru-sama told him something causing him to suddenly become a master in wind manipulation while in Senin MMDM. The spar ended when Naruto fainted from the strain of using the full power of the Kikbi, along with Senin MMDM at the same time. As of this moment, Gamamaru-sama has decided to take Naruto-kun in as his first apprentice since training the Rikiden Sennin over a millennium ago. Hiruzen said, getting shocked expression from everyone, including Danzo. So he was a prodigy hiding in plain sight. Nara Shikaku, the Jonin commander and the head of the Nara clan, asked, for the first time outside a war, not sleeping through a council meeting. Shikamaru did say that there seemed to be something strange with Naruto-san. I thought he sensed the Kikbi's presence within the boy, now I think that he meant that Naruto-san was hiding his abilities. He had to have been. No one else, especially a dead last academy student, could sneak into Anbu HQ, dye many of the uniforms orange, and then escape without being caught, let alone not leaving behind any traces that we could point to him, even if we know that he was the one who did it. The Anbu commander, a male wearing a dragon mask, said, getting nods from the rest of the ninja council. True, even if I do not like the fact that he snuck into my clan compound and stole our underwear right under the noses of the guards who periodically scan the area with the Byakugan. I still don't know how he did it, but his stealth is impressive. Heike Hiyashi said, getting shocked expressions from everyone present. Anyway, that is not what I called all of you here for. I have a few documents for you to review before I tell you the agenda of the meeting. Hiruzen said before he motioned for an Anbu to distribute the papers in the folder. The council took a few minutes to pursue the documents before Danzo calmly placed his copy on the desk. He was sabotaged and he realized it. He is a textbook example of a shinobi. Danzo said with a bit of pride before chuckling, causing every ninja to give the old warhawk a wary glance. Are you alright, Danzo? Hiruzen asked only for Danzo to laugh aloud. Alright, I am better than alright. I wanted to train him to be what he has become without help. He understands the darkness of the world and uses the shadows to cloak himself, though I should have expected it, with his heritage. Danzo said, causing Hiruzen to inwardly panic. What heritage? Wasn't he an orphan that Yondaime-sama picked randomly? A civilian woman asked, getting a scoff from Danzo. If the reports of his strength are true, and I have no reason to doubt it, then there is no reason to hide his heritage for fear of his safety from his parents' enemies. I have been meaning to ask Hokage-sama, my daughter came to me last night and said that you confirmed that young Uzumaki-san is in truth the son of the Akai Chishio no Habanero. Yamanaka Inoichi, the head of the Yamanaka clan, asked, getting a nod from Hiruzen. Then his father was the Kairoi Senko, wasn't he? Aburam Shibi, the head of the Aburam clan, asked. After all, it is logical. Kushina-san and Minato-sama were known to spend a lot of time together, with rumors of them dating floating about. I hate the Aburam logic and Nara intelligence. All of you deduce things that I want to keep hidden from the barest of details. Shikaku had already deduced his heritage long before now. I am surprised that you hadn't, Shibi-kun. Hiruzen said, getting shocked gasps from the civilians. So what about it, Hiruzen, are you still going to keep him from his inheritance? He may be able to master the Hiraishin if he gets hold of his father's notes, not to mention his parents' sealing skills by studying their notes. I foresee the birth of the Nidaime Kairoi Senko. Danzo said, getting a look of realization on Hiruzen's face. So the old warhawk is after the Hiraishin. Not while I am alive, I need to remember to warn Naruto-kun about him. Hiruzen was about to speak when a knock interrupted him. Come in. At the Hokage's command, Nico and Kakashi walked into the chamber escorting Naruto, who looked attentive, and Sakura, who looked nervous. Thank you, Nico, Kakashi-kun, you two may leave now, or if you want, take you clan seat, Kakashi-kun. Kakashi thought for a moment before he walked to the Haddock seat and sat down. Good of you to finally join us, Kakashi. Inyazu Kitsune said with a fanged grin, causing Kakashi to nod in return. Now, as I was about to say, I had planned to tell him when he reached Jonin, but now with his strength, I can reveal it to him without fear. Hiruzen said, getting a nod from the council. Naruto-san, it has come to our attention that you have achieved Sennin MMDM. Can you give us a demonstration of your sensory abilities? Inoichi asked, getting a nod from Naruto, surprising the man. He expected him to wax lyrical about himself and his abilities, as he is known to do. Naruto closed his eyes and took a deep breath before releasing it. Repeating the motion a few times, Naruto suddenly opened his eyes to reveal orange pigmentation around them, with the pupil being a horizontal bar, and the eyes had changed color to a yellow, instead of the vibrant blue it usually is. Jiraiya is standing beside the door under a cloaking jutsu. There are 4 Anbu spread around the room, with 2 more behind the bandaged man who seems have no emotions. Then there are the 6 Anbu outside the room hanging from the ceiling, with 2 more emotionless Anbu waiting by the door. The civilians here are fearful, probably of me. Then there are the Anbu who brought me here, his chakra felt stiff like earth yet flowing like water. He may have water and earth affinities, though his chakra feels like the 2 affinities are merged together with hints of life energy flowing through it. Naruto said, getting shocked expressions from everyone present. Inoichi knew that good sensors could pick up hints of emotion from the flow of chakra, but to notice the elemental affinities including the sub-elemental affinities was astounding. The man with the wide eyes has a feeling of stiffness in his chakra as well, so he must have earth affinity as well. Hiashi nodded in agreement. The man with spiky pineapple hair and scar on his face who looks like an older Shikamaru has a feeling of insubstantiality in his chakra, probably why they can manipulate shadows. Your own feels more spiritual, but insubstantial as well. The big-boned man has a strong flow of life energy, along with the stiffness I associate with earth. Inoichi nodded in understanding of what Naruto meant. Then the man with his face half covered in his hit eye ate his own, feels like it will shock anyone who comes in contact with it. Then there is the eye he is hiding underneath the hit eye ate. It feels foreign. Probably a transplant, though the level of chakra in it tells me that it is a constantly active jutsu. Naruto said while pointedly looking at Danzo's right arm, causing the man to nervously stare back. After a staring at each other of a couple of moments that was ignored by everyone except Jiraiya and Hiruzen, Danzo interrupted, "I think that concludes demonstration. It is impressive how much details you can perceive with your sensory abilities. I do not think I have heard of any sensor being able to sense anything other than negative emotions. Your ability will be a boon in the field for reconnaissance and tracking missions. Tell me, can you sense the chakra trails left behind as well? If I concentrate enough, then yes." Naruto said with a guarded tone, causing Danzo to nod. "And the range?" Hiashi asked, getting a calculative stare from Naruto. After a few moments Naruto said, "At the moment I can sense the whole of Konoha. If I concentrate, I may be able to sense a few more miles out." "What? But that's impossible. Even the sharpest Byakugan would fall short of the outer districts of Konoha from here. There is nothing impossible in this world. Have your sharpest Byakugan ever been forced to be strained enough to increase the range?" Naruto said with a cold tone, causing a shiver to run down Hiashi's spine. Danzo and Hiruzen hid a smile. "Thank you for that enlightening demonstration, Naruto-san," Aburame Shibi said, causing Naruto to nod in appreciation. "Will you give us a demonstration of the Kyuubi's power?" Danzo said, getting shocked and worried expressions from the counselors. "What are you talking about, Elder Danzo? Why would you want the Kyuubi to be free? It will kill us as soon as Naruto-san releases it." A civilian cried in fear, only for a strong killing intent to causing the man to freeze in fear. "I would appreciate if you didn't treat the fox as a dumb beast hell-bent on killing. He is a sentient being just like you and me. It is behavior like that which had tainted Kurama's heart with hatred of humans. I worked very hard to dispel that hatred, so I would appreciate it if you did not give him reason to start hating humans again. Also, do not insult my friend. It was hard to befriend him, but he is a good friend, an honorable one as well. I know details about the attack that none but my father and mother knew." Naruto said, getting surprised looks from everyone except Sakura. "Aka, you weren't supposed to tell the world that you know who your father is." Sakura exclaimed before she saw the look she was getting and blushed in embarrassment. Naruto released his killing intent from the civilian, causing him to faint on the spot. "How long have you two know about Naruto's parents and how?" Hiruzen asked with a serious tone, causing Sakura to gulp in fear. "I met their chakra imprints in my mindscape when I was trying to mastering Kurama's power last summer. They left the imprints to help me with the process. I told Sakura-chan about them since she is my closest friend. I also know that old pervert over there is my godfather, thanks for the clothes Zero Senin. Your mother's chakra imprint told you to call me that, didn't she?" Jiraiya asked with a flat tone, causing Naruto to grin and nod. "I should have known. Only Kushina would do something like that. Even from beyond the grave, she torments me with that accursed nickname. Why did you ask me if you were related to Kushina-chan yesterday, if you already knew?" Hiruzen asked with confusion, only for Naruto to stare at him with an equally serious expression. "I wanted to see if you would hide that knowledge from me or not. If you did, then I would have put you down as having malicious intents with me. It was a test to see if I could trust you, as in the shinobi world, nothing is as simple as what it seems." Naruto said, getting an understanding nod from the shinobi council, while Danzo looked at him with barely hidden happiness. The other two elders looked at him pride. The female elder, Kaharu, commented, "You remind me of Tobirama-sensei with Hashirama-sensei's happy-go-lucky nature mixed in. Now that I am in your presence, you even have the same presence as Hashirama-sensei. Thank you for the compliment, but may I ask what was the real agenda of the council meeting?" "I do not think this was it," Naruto said with a cheeky grin, causing everyone to face fault at getting this distracted from the true agenda. "Ahem, you are right, Naruto-kun. The meeting was about informing the council of your status as a fully realized Jinchuriki and a Senin. Then I was planning to discuss the merits and demerits of releasing your heritage to the world, so you may go. There shouldn't be any discussion. I understand that you want to protect me, but revealing my heritage and status as a fully realized Jinchuriki has more merits than demerits. True that my parents' enemies could target me, but it is not as if I cannot defend myself. Revealing that would instead causing our enemies to fear, angering us while reassuring our allies of our power. It may even prevent our allies from betraying us out of fear of us retaliating. It would also bring in more missions and allies to us." Naruto said, getting a shocked look from everyone, including Sakura, who did not know that Naruto was this good with politics. That is a very good proposition. It is true that many minor villages fear to attack Kumo, and even though Kiri is embroiled in a civil war, Yagura's status as a cage-level ninja and a fully realized Jinchuriki prevents overzealous minor villages from attacking them. Danzo said with an approving nod of his head. Are you sure that you want to take the risk, Naruto-kun? You will be in grave danger. Hiruzen asked, only for Naruto to gently refute him. You are letting your affection for me prevent you from looking at the bigger picture, Jiji. What is a shinobi? Naruto said, getting a look of realization from Jiraiya and Kakashi. Seeing the confused looks from everyone, Naruto continued, a shinobi is one who endures. I am a shinobi. Moreover, I am a shinobi who aspires to become Hokage. If I am afraid to put my life on the line for my village and country, then I don't deserve the hit I am proudly wearing on my forehead. Shikaku nodded in understanding. I see what you mean, Naruto-san. You are willing to take the burden of being Konoha's face to the world with your very presence deterring other nations from thinking of invading us. You are banking on your status as a fully realized Jinchuriki, a sage, the last Uzumaki, and finally the son of the Kairoi Senko, to be the deterrent, and if that fails, you plan to use the power you have to silence those who would dare to even look at Konoha with a malicious light in their eyes. Naruto nodded in agreement, getting a sigh from Hiruzen, while approving nods from the rest of the Shinobi Council. That is a plan worthy of Tobirama-sensei, and the determination you show in carrying out that plan shows me glimpses of Hashirama-sensei. I approve of your proposal. Homura said, getting a nod from Koharu and Danzo. The rest of the Shinobi Council except Kakashi voiced their agreement with respect. I feel that it is unwise of you to place yourself at risk just yet, Naruto. As your father's sole surviving student, I must protest to this plan. Kakashi said with worry, only for Naruto to chuckle. If you were my father's pupil, then you know that I won't back down from a small threat to my life. He entrusted Kurama to me so that I could master the use of his power. I have done it, so now it is my turn to provide Konoha with the same visage my father portrayed. Kakashi thought for a moment before nodding in agreement. Though I don't like it, I will accept your decision. I rescind my objection to the plan. Kakashi said, causing Hiruzen to hang his head in defeat. What about you, Jiraiya? He is your godson. Though I would prefer he didn't do this, it is undeniable that he is a better and greater sage than me, Fukasaku-sensei and Shima-sensei. That along with his taijutsu skills, put him solidly in the category of a low A-rank jonin. He has an A-rank Genjutsu under his belt. With his understanding of Kage Bunshin and the level of wind manipulation he can do in Senin MMDM, I would not want to fight against him. With Kikbi, he is easily S-rank in power. If he concentrates a bit in his ninjutsu, with the help of Kage Bunshin, he would be S-rank in skill by the end of the year. So I shall support him in his personally proposed mission. Jiraiya said with a proud smile, getting a nod from Hiruzen. Alright, I shall allow it. Your heritage and status as the Kikbi Jinchuriki will be revealed right after the meeting is concluded. Anbu, call a general assembly of the populace. An Anbu appeared and bowed to Hiruzen before vanishing in a Konoha Shunshin. Now Sakura-chan, may I ask why did you hide your skills? It is uncommon for an academy student from civilian background to be as strong as you are. Naruto has been helping me get stronger. That is the only truth, Hokage-sama, Sakura said while inwardly sweating in fear of her lie being caught. After a moment's scrutiny, Hiruzen nodded. Alright, Sakura-chan, you, Naruto-kun and the civilian council may go now. Hiruzen said, causing the civilians to get up and leave. Before they all left, the head of the civilian council turned to Naruto and bowed. Naruto-sama, please forgive us for our transgressions against you. The man said, getting shocked looks from some of the Shinobi Council. What's in the past is in the past. Let us head towards a brighter future and not bring up painful memories. I can understand your pain to a certain degree and your fear. There is no need to ask for my forgiveness. Naruto said, getting shocked looks from the civilians and Shinobi alike, while Danzo watched with a calculative expression on his face. The civilians bowed before heading out of the room. That isn't something you see every day, Tsume said with a gruff laugh, getting chuckles from Choza and Jiraiya. Sakura and Naruto were about to walk out of the council chamber when Naruto suddenly stopped. I have been meaning to ask, does the Uzumaki clan have a council seat in Konoha? Everyone looked surprised at the inquiry, but Danzo replied, they do not, but the alliance charter between Konoha and Uzushio states that if a branch of the Uzumaki clan were to form in Konoha, they would be given a council seat. Why do you ask, Naruto-san? Do you plan to recreate the Uzumaki clan in the future? That should be obvious. As if I would let my clan die out. Naruto said with a scoff. Thank you for your consideration of my proposal. With his piece said, Naruto walked out of the council chambers with Sakura in tow. That Gaki has a very heavy presence. A similar presence to what you had during the Second Shinobi World War, sensei. Jiraiya said, getting a nod of agreement from Koharu, Homura and Danzo. Hiruzen hummed in thought before he sighed and turned back to the council. What news do you have on Iwa, Jiraiya? I want to be prepared for the fallout of the reveal. Hiruzen said, causing everyone to become serious. Naruto and Sakura had just entered his home when Sakura smacked Naruto on the back of his head. What the hell were you playing at, Naruto? Though we wouldn't be changing the past too much. What reason did we come back if we aren't going to be changing the past, and since our powers have already been revealed to a certain degree, we should just use it to our advantage. Yesterday, I think I was able to convince Sasuke that being a lone wolf would only end in disaster. I offered to help him get stronger. He said he would think about it. I hope that we will be able to keep him out of Orochimaru's hands now. That could already have changed the future by a great degree. Kurama guided me what to do in the council chambers. He said something about showing the qualities that is desirable in a leader. That would help me gain allies on the council, which would then help when the time came to hunt down Akatsuki. I decided to follow Kurama's lead. Sakura nodded in understanding before she said, then why didn't you reveal Danzo? He is useful at the moment. Well, I hate manipulations. Kurama and I decided make Danzo think that I share similar ideologies with him. That will cause him to lower his guard. And when his guard is down, I will take him out in a single fell swoop. Sakura gulped at the serious expression on Naruto's face as she faintly blushed. Shaking her head to clear out unnecessary thoughts, Sakura said, that is risky, but so you. Naruto nodded in agreement when something occurred to him, causing him to become pale as a corpse. Seeing his pallid expression, Sakura became concerned. You alright, Naruto? Naruto just nodded, yeah, but I don't think I will be soon. Sakura raised an eyebrow in confusion when Naruto continued, Gigi is about to reveal my heritage within the hour. So? Though you would be happy to finally be able to tell the world who your parents are. You don't understand. As soon as my heritage is revealed, the whole of Konoha will start treating me as the son of the Yondaime, instead of Uzumaki Naruto. They will ignore who I am and the fangirls. I know I laughed when Sasuke was hounded by fangirls, but now I will be the one running away. Naruto exclaimed, hyperventilating only for Sakura to smash a fist onto Naruto's head. Calm down, Baka. Very few treat you as Uzumaki Naruto. Most of the elder populace treats you as Kurama, while our generation treats you as an annoying prankster. Instead of getting glares, you will be getting looks of awe. So what, just bear with it till you prove yourself as you did when you defeated Pain. And stop being so overdramatic about fangirls, they aren't that obsessive, and if you need help, I will bail you out. Sakura said with a face flushed with annoyance, causing Naruto to calm down. Thanks, Sakura-chan, I really needed that. Sakura nodded in appreciation as she asked, how should we proceed with our training? My medical skills are still the same level they were in the future, along with my chakra levels and control. Even my super strength is at the same level. The same can be said for you. The only drawback is our physical stamina. I tested out my own yesterday and found that it was greater than what I originally had at this age, but still behind the levels of fitness I had in the future. I think we should increase our physical abilities as well. You can barely hold Bigchem MDM for a couple of minutes. That would be worse than useless. Naruto nodded in agreement. We can join Super Bushy Brow Sensei and Bushy Brows in their physical training regime. It would give us an excuse to our accelerated growth in stamina and physical skills. Sensei and Lee's training regime, huh? If we were able to even follow a quarter of their insane routine, we would improve tremendously, and since I do not have Shishim here to help me, they will have to do. Do you think I should learn more ninjutsu? You should, you only have a couple of defensive and support dotenjutsu. Adding a few offensive ones and a few suiton ninjutsu would only help you. I will need to learn the other 4 elements, and then Futon, Imton and Jiton I got from the other Bijk when they entrusted me with their chakra. Even with Kage Bunshin, that will take a lot of time. Sakura nodded in agreement as Naruto continued, then I also have to train with Pa and Ma to master the Toad-style ninjutsu and the various collaboration ninjutsu with summoned toads. Not to mention mastering Senin MMDM like Gamamari Jiji said. I will have my hand full with them. You will also be picking up Kenjutsu, it was U-Clan's specialty after all. Sakura said, getting a groan from Naruto, who had collapsed on his couch. Sakura sat down beside him, patted his head, and said with a giggle, there, it isn't that bad a situation. You will just have to abuse the hell out of Kage Bunshin, and every time you collapse from brain trauma, I will heal you back up. With Kurama helping, I predict you will be up and annoying everyone the very next day. Naruto just glared at her before he yawned. He rested his head on the couch's headrest and started falling asleep. Still feeling tired, huh? Sakura asked, getting a sleepy nod as Naruto fell into a deeper sleep. Sakura watched him sleeping for a few moments before with a fond smile. He looks cute when he sleeps. How come I never noticed it before? Sakura thought to herself as she absently ran a hand through Naruto's messy blonde hair before she quickly brought her hand back with a massive blush adorning her face. What the hell am I doing? This is Naruto, the noble Baka known to do the impossible, but still the Baka. The treacherous part of her mind whispered, but he is you Baka. He still hasn't given up on you. But Hinata already declared her feelings to him. Sakura argued with her inner self only for the inner self to refute that was in the future, and even then Naruto didn't act on her confession. He had already gained a lot of respect after defeating Pain, and everyone had learned of his burden. He didn't have any excuse to not date her, yet he didn't. But I love Sasuke. Do you, or did you love the idea of healing his broken heart? Moreover, I doubt you will be attracted to Sasuke as he is now. You and Naruto are both older in mind than body. You both will have difficulty in accepting someone your physical age, as they will not be mature enough mentally. Not to mention you did not refute Yondaime Sama's claims of you being Naruto's girlfriend when he first appeared on the battlefield with the other reincarnated Hokage and Sasuke. But how would I refute that when his dead father was happy thinking he had a girlfriend? It would have made Yondaime Sama sad. Would it, or did you secretly like being called Naruto's girlfriend? I don't like Naruto like that. Sakura argued with her inner self, only to get a scoff from her, causing Sakura to hesitate for a moment. Do I? That is something you need to find out yourself. Even if I told you, you won't agree with me, even though I am a part of your psyche. Inner Sakura said before she went quiet, leaving Sakura to mull over the direction her thoughts had taken. While mulling over her thoughts, Sakura slowly fell asleep on the couch with her head resting on Naruto's shoulder. The sound of giggling reached the ears of two sleepy people. A pair of mesmerizing cerulean eyes opened to see Jiraiya standing in front of them, writing in a small notepad while giggling. "Hiro-sennin, what are you doing?" Naruto asked as he tried to get up only for a weight on his left side to hold him down. At the same time, Sakura groaned and opened her emerald eyes only to see Naruto's confused cerulean eyes staring at her. "You two are a gold mine," Jiraiya said with a giggle, causing Sakura to realize the proximity she had with her time-traveling friend and jumped back with a red face. Naruto became fearful that Sakura was about to punish him when Sakura turned her wrath on Jiraiya. "You old pervert. You can change even the most innocent of situations into something perverted." Sakura screamed as she punched Jiraiya into a wall. As Jiraiya slid down the wall, he groaned out, "Damn, she's like a second coming of Tsunadeheim. I am still tired from the training I did yesterday. We fell asleep discussing how we were going to proceed with our training, got it?" Sakura said with a menacing aura. Jiraiya nodded in agreement, not wanting to feel the wrath of the girl with super strength. "How did you get in here anyway, Hiro-sennin?" Naruto asked when he saw that Sakura was not about to beat him up for falling asleep beside her. Jiraiya perked up at Naruto's question and said, "Oh right, sensei wants you in his office tomorrow morning to pick up the documents pertaining to your heritage and inheritance when you go to pick up your ninja registration card. Now get up and dress in the formal kimono I placed on your bed. We need to get to the Hokage mansion soon. Sensei is about to announce your heritage and status," Jiraiya said, getting a nod from Naruto. "What should I do, Jiraiya-sama?" Sakura asked, getting a thoughtful look from the old pervert. "I want you to head to the hospital tomorrow. Sensei has arranged for you to take an exam to evaluate your skills as an Irinen. If you pass, you will become a certified Irinen. The level of clearance you will have will depend on your skill and marks. Now get home, change into something comfortable, and head to the assembly. If I know Sensei, he is going to scold the older populace, so be ready for a long-winded speech." Sakura nodded before she vanished in a puff of smoke and leaves. Hiruzen was standing at the edge of the roof looking out at the sea of faces moving about in front of the Hokage mansion. He could hear the civilians standing talking to each other, moving about in the crowd. The ninja on the other hand were standing in close-knit groups whispering to their comrades while looking about for probable threats. The newly minted genin were standing at the front of the crowd and looking up in confusion, all except Sakura, who was out of her usual ninja gear and was now wearing a long red kippah with a silver slug embroidery running all over the dress. Hiruzen saw that unlike her former classmates, she had come armed with a kunai holster peeking from the slits in the kippah. Hiruzen also noticed a medical pouch hanging from her waist. She has a completely different demeanor from her fellow genin. Is it alright of me to put her with Naruto-kun? It would disrupt the balance of the team. Hiruzen thought with a pensive expression when Jiraiya and Naruto arrived in a Konoha Shunshin. Hiruzen turned to greet the two but was stunned at how Naruto looked. Naruto was wearing a white kimono that highlighted his blonde hair. An embroidery of a fox with 9 tails with its tails wrapping around the hems was done in deep crimson thread. A toad, done in gold thread, was seen sitting on the fox's head with a yellow halo-like appearance around its body as if it had flashed onto the fox's head. The large Uzumaki swirl was embroidered in red thread on the back. Naruto's messy hair seemed to be spiking up at random places, giving him a wild appearance. Hiruzen could easily see the resemblance the boy had with his parents, with a bit of his own uniqueness thrown in. "You look handsome, Naruto-kun. Where did you get the kimono?" Hiruzen asked, getting a shrug from the boy. "Don't know, Jiji, Hiro-sennin gave it to me." Hiruzen turned to Jiraiya only to see the white-haired Sannin wiping away a tear from his eye. It was commissioned by Kushina a couple of months before she died. I had the embroideries tweaked a bit after they died. Kushina wanted this to be the kimono he was to wear when he was formally introduced as the Uzumaki clan heir. I thought it was time for him to wear it. Kushina had personally embroidered the fox onto the kimono. Jiraiya said, getting a shocked look from Naruto and a happy one from Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, everyone is assembled. Nico said as she appeared beside the Hokage in a Konoha Shunshin. Hiruzen nodded and walked forward towards the edge of the roof. Everyone quieted down when everyone saw the Hokage preparing to speak. It is rare that I call a village-wide assembly. Normally it spells the sharing of bad news, while at rare times good news is shared. Luckily, this time, it is the latter at least to some, but before I share the news, I must say that I am greatly disappointed in many of you. Hashirama-sensei created this village so that everyone would be treated with respect and equality. He created this village so that the children could live happy lives away from the darkness that permeates the world. He would be extremely depressed at what Konoha has become now. Hiruzen said, getting confused looks from everyone present. Is this the Konoha our beloved Yondaime sacrificed himself for? A village that would spit on his last request and victimize a hero who had unwillingly taken on a burden far greater than most understand, a village who would mentally and physically torture a young child due to ignorance and malice for something he did not have any control over. A village that would victimize the son of the very man you idolize. Hiruzen said, getting confused looks from the younger generation, while the older generation gasped in shock, while a handful denied that statement. Hiruzen let the crowd calm down a bit before he continued. I don't know how the child remains sane, how he can still put his life on the line for a village that has spited him so. I know that if I were in his position, I would have probably tried to destroy the village and succeeded with the power that was sealed within the child. Young ones, all who were too young to remember the Kikbi attack or were born after it, I have a confession to make. The day the Kikbi attacked, the Yondaime did not kill it. No living man can kill it permanently. Within 9 years, the beast would have been back. Therefore, the Yondaime did what was the only sure way to defeat a being like the Kikbi. He sealed it in a newborn child at the cost of his own soul. With his dying breath, he asked that the child be seen as the hero he is, instead of the beast sealed within him. Who is the child, Hokage-sama? Many of the younger generation asked with curiosity when Hiruzen did not continue. After a few moments, Hiruzen motioned for someone to walk forward. As Naruto came into view, the younger generation looked stunned, while many of the older generation looked at him with neutral faces, while some stared with anger. Only a handful stared at him with respect. This is the child. He has bared the burden of holding back the malice of the Kikbi, while also suffering under the malice and negligence directed at him from the village he is protecting. Surprisingly, he has been able to remove the malice from the heart of the Kikbi and befriended the beast to the point that the fox would work with Naruto-kun here to protect the village. He has done what his father entrusted him to do. I give you Uzumaki Naruto, the Kikbi Jinchuriki and the son of the Yondaime Hokage, Namikaze Minato, and the Akai Chishio no Habanero, Uzumaki Kushina, the present heir of the now nearly extinct Uzumaki clan. Hiruzen said, getting shocked looks from everyone except those who already knew. Naruto-kun here has decided to take on an S-rank mission to become the face of Konoha. He shall be the bar that the other nations shall judge us from now on. Even without the power of the Kikbi, Naruto-kun is as strong as a rookie jonin. With the Kikbi, he rivals the Sannin and me. He has decided to be what his father stood for, a deterrent against war with enemies and a beacon of hope for our allies and us. I am giving him the honorary title of Bijksenin, for he himself is a sage who has developed a unique style of senjutsu and then recreated the Toad style without help, along with all privileges attached with the rank. Officially, he shall remain a genin to gain experience working in teams. Now let's hear a cheer for the hero of Konoha. Hiruzen said, getting a cheer from the younger generation and most of the elder generation as well. Only the most diehard civilians still disapproved of Naruto. All of you are now dismissed. Hiruzen said, causing most of the people to leave the area, only leaving behind the clan heirs from Naruto's year and Sakura with a few jonin, Taketsu jonin and a lone chunin. Naruto-kun, Jiraiya will show you to your clan home. It is protected by blood seals that only an Uzumaki can penetrate. Unfortunately, your parents' home was destroyed during the Kikbi's attack. I was able to salvage some of their things and their personal jutsu notes from the wreckage. I will give them to you tomorrow. Now I must get back to the blasted paperwork. Ever since I started using Kage Bunshin, my load of paperwork seems to have tripled. Sure thing, Gigi, have fun slaying paperwork. Naruto said with a cheeky grin, causing the old Kage to grumble about smartest blonde brats and self-replicating paperwork before he vanished in a puff of smoke. So Iro-sennin, where is the Uzumaki clan compound? Let's get down from here and I will take you there. Mind you, the only time I have been there was on the day of your parents' marriage, so I don't know in what condition it is in now. Jiraiya said as he and Naruto jumped down from the roof and landed in front of the gathered clan heirs and Sakura. So you have a gigantic evil demonic nine-tailed fox sealed in your stomach? Ino asked with a curious tone. Naruto nodded in confusion when Ino smirked, no wonder you eat that much ramen, and you are so short. The fox must be taking in all the nutrients making you hungrier and not growing at all. Everyone face faulted at Ino's comment before Sakura screamed, that isn't the reason he is short, he doesn't eat nutritious food. Without proper nutrition, no one will ever reach their full potential. What's up with you, forehead? I was just making a comment. Ino said, causing Sakura to growl in anger. My goal is to surpass Tsunade-sama both as an Irinen and a combat medic. I make it my business to correct anyone who gives the wrong idea to my patients. Sakura said, getting a smirk from Ino and Jiraiya, while a frown graced Hinata's face. I always thought something was wrong with the way people behaved with you, I just never realized why. You must have a very strong mental fortitude to remain sane with the amount of hatred and negligence the populace directed at you. Naruto nodded in appreciation of Shikamaru's compliment. But don't think I will treat you any different just because you have held the Kyuubi at bay since you were born or because you are Yondaime-sama's son. I will keep treating you as I have you, troublesome blonde. Everyone present nodded in agreement, even the shy Hinata and the boisterous Kiba. Thanks guys. You do not know how much this means to me. I want to be recognized for my achievements, not my father's. The only reason I wanted it revealed now was to direct Iwa and Kumo's eyes onto me instead of Konoha. That is a daring chance you took, Naruto-san. You are just a genin, even if you are titled a senin. It is logical to let the elder generation to keep the eyes of our enemies on them while we have time to grow into the role. Shino said, getting a nod from everyone except Sasuke and Sakura. The day I mastered Kurama's power was the day I chose to become the protector of Konoha. Other than me, both of Kumo's Jinchuriki are fully realized ones. The Yondaime Mizukage is supposed to be one as well. Besides, my father entrusted me with Kurama for a reason, if not for this, then why? Naruto said, getting reluctant nods from everyone. You kids should understand that sensei never did something without a reason. Besides, none but an Uzumaki can hold the Kyuubi. No one has the physical capabilities to hold such a powerful entity. The kids turned around to see Kakashi standing behind them. You did a hell of a job, kid. I can see why father has so much belief in you. You did something that was thought to be impossible. A bearded jonin smoking a cigarette said. Seeing the confused looks on everyone's faces, he said, I am Sarutobi Asuma. Sandaime-sama is my father. Yosh, your flames of youth burn brighter than the sun, make sure to never let it go out. A green spandex-clad jonin said, getting sweat drops from everyone present. Ah, thank you, I think. Naruto said with a strained grin on his face. The green spandex-clad jonin nodded. The rest of the gathered jonin and Taketsu jonin just shook their heads in exasperation. Please refrain from corrupting the next generation with your flames of youth ideology. You already have corrupted your apprentice. A man wearing a bandana said with a severe expression on his face. The name's Iki Kurenai. These are my friends Inyazuka Hana, Yuzuki Ikao and Mitarashi Anko. We commend you on decision to become the face of Konoha. That is a noble thing. I don't think I would be able to do that if I was in your position. The jonin with red eyes said while pointing towards a woman from the Inyazuka clan wearing a chunin vest, a purple-haired woman wearing Anbu armor, and another purple-haired woman with her hair done in the style of a pineapple, wearing a fishnet armor under a tan trench coat. The three women nodded in agreement with the gathered of Taketsu jonin nodding with them. One of the gathered Taketsu jonin, one biting on a senbon, walked forward and patted Naruto on his back. Your father helped three of us learn a variant of his Hiraishin, the Hiraijin no Jutsu. If you plan to learn his one, just come find me. It would be my honor to help you learn it. The name's Shiranui Genma, you can find me in the jonin long. Thank you, I will be sure to find you when I try and learn the Hiraishin. Naruto said with gratitude when Jiraiya finally spoke up. Good of you all to show support of him, but we must be going. We do not know in what condition the Uzumaki clan compound is in, so we may have a lot of work to do. We must be going now. Everyone nodded in understanding before saying goodbye and leaving, all except Sakura and the purple-haired woman wearing Anbu armor. How about I come and help? Then I can make sure that the baka doesn't fill his fridge with ramen again. Sakura said, causing Naruto to grumble. I will come along as well. I have been there many times when Kushina-sensei was alive. I remember spending hours practicing my kinjutsu under Kushina-sensei's experienced eyes, sometimes staying there with her, so I would be a great help in showing Naruto-kun around. So you are the same Ikao-chan Kushina always speaking of. She always said you would go far. Seeing that you are an Anbu, I think Kushina would have been proud of you. I believe that Kushina had a special sword forged just for you while she was pregnant with Naruto. I will hand it to you tomorrow. Jiraiya said with a grin, getting a smile from the purple-haired Anbu. Mother was a kinjutsu practitioner? Naruto asked in shock, getting a nod from Jiraiya and Ikao. The foremost kinjutsu expert in Konoha, I learned a lot of the basics from her. Her style, the Shai no Mai, was as graceful as it was deadly. Unfortunately, from what I can see, you do not seem to have the right type of body to use her Kenjutsu style. A pity really, but the scrolls she wrote on her style are stored at the Uzumaki clan archives. Maybe in the future, a child of yours will be able to learn the style. Ikgao said with a fond smile, getting a sad nod from Naruto. But don't worry. You have the perfect body type to learn the Uzumaki clan Taijutsu style. I just cannot seem to remember the name of the style, but I know it was brutal. It used the advantages of you clan's great stamina and chakra reserve to efficient use. I remember the sound of breaking bones emanating from the other side of the privacy wall of a public onsen we were bathing in when she realized a pervert was spying on us. I remember her call the pervert Iro Senin and that she was going to put him in critical care. Jiraiya paled and started to sweat in fear of Ikgao, realizing that it was him Kushina had beaten that fateful day. Naruto and Sakura shared a smirk when Ikgao said that she wanted to beat the pervert as well, but Kushina had not told her who he was. Iro Senin, shame on you, you spied on my mother and her student while they were bathing. Mother must be at least 20 years younger than you, while Ikgao-san is at least 30. Naruto said with Sakura snickering as Ikgao turned a murderous glare at the white-haired Sannin, who had become pale as a corpse. So it was you. Be happy that I do not have my katana with me now, or I would be punishing you for your past transgressions against sensei and me. If I find you by any Linsen, I will make sure that you no longer remain a man, got it? Ikgao asked with menacing expression, getting a scared nod from Jiraiya. Ikgao smiled and nodded before turning to Sakura and Naruto. We better get going. Kushina-sensei said that seals maintained the compound, but I do not know what condition it is in now, that the seals have not been maintained of the past 12 years. We are still tired today, so it is better if we have Naruto situated before I can return home to take a nap. Sakura said as she grabbed Naruto by the collar and dragged him behind her in a random direction. Ikgao and Jiraiya smirked at the scene. That reminds me of Minato and Kushina after Minato saved Kushina from her abductors. Jiraiya said, getting a smile from Ikgao. You think they like each other? Everyone knows that Naruto-kun has a crush on the girl. Her behavior is new, though from what I have gathered, they have been close for a long time now. They are very good. None of us ever realized that they were wearing a mask. Even now, they hide what they can truly do. So I do not know if the girl realized that she likes him or not. Then there is the Hokage heiress as well. Everyone knows that she has a crush on Naruto-kun, but he either doesn't realize it or he isn't interested in her like that. Jiraiya nodded in understanding before he said with a grin, should we tell them that they are going the wrong way? Let them wander a bit more before we tell them. I still have to get back at the Gaki for dyeing my Anbu uniform pink that one time. I still do not know how he infiltrated Anbu HQ, but I know that the commander has been having the new recruit searching the whole place for his infiltration point. It's been a year now, but we are still not close to figuring out how he did it. Ikgao said with a miffed tone. Jiraiya laughed, he would be great spy master in the future if he didn't take the position as Konoha's public face. Yugao giggled as the two followed Sakura and Naruto. Early in the morning, Naruto's cerulean eyes opened to the sight that caused confusion to the blonde-haired boy. Above him was a roof paneled with rich red-colored wooden panels. The grains on the wooden panels were arranged so that the Uzumaki clan symbol was floating in a lighter red coloration on a deeper red background. After a few moments, the events of the previous day returned to the boy's mind, causing him to jump out of bed in excitement. Yada, Sakura-chan, and I now have a private place to train. He exclaimed when a knocking on the wooden frame of the Shinjai screen leading out of the clan head's bedroom caught his attention. Ah, who is it? It's me, Naruto. Get dressed and come with me. We need to discuss a few things. A feminine voice called out, causing a bright smile to form on the blonde Jinchuriki's face. Alright, Sakura-chan, I will meet you at the dining room as fast as I can. Alright, Naruto, but try and be done within half an hour, it is already 7 in the morning. We have to finish our ninja registration today and make sure that you don't do something weird, Baka. Sakura said with a monotone, causing Naruto to shiver in fright. Too sure, Sakura-chan. Naruto saw the shadow of Sakura nod and walk away, causing him to sigh in relief. After a moment, he rushed towards the private bathroom to get ready for the day. Sakura was cooking a simple breakfast of rice, steamed vegetables, teriyaki chicken, and miso soup when Jiraiya appeared in the kitchen with a confused look on his face. Huh, when did you get here? Jiraiya asked with a smirk, getting a sigh from the pink-haired Irinen. Good morning to you too, Jiraiya-sama, I came here nearly 15 minutes ago. I need to make sure that the Baka does not do something idiotic again, like painting his face like a kabuki actor for his ninja registration picture. Would you like some breakfast? No thanks, I already had breakfast. I just came by to give Naruto a scroll and tell him something before I have to leave to follow up a new lad in my spy network. Jiraiya said with a sad sight, getting an understanding nod from Sakura. It must be hard to not be able to directly involve yourself in your godson's life because your job is more critical to the survival of Konoha, huh? You don't know that half of it. Being a spy master takes you far away from your home for long periods. I do miss Konoha and Naruto a lot when I am away, but I know that what I do keeps Konoha and Naruto safe. That allows me to keep on going even when I suffer from homesickness. Jiraiya said with a melancholic sigh. Sakura smiled with encouragement as she said, but as you said, what you do keeps Konoha and Naruto safe. Thanks to your efforts, we were able to grow up without a war waging around us. For that our generation is thankful to you. Thank you for your kind words. Most do not understand what it is like to be away from home for years, just so that it remains standing. You need some help with that? Jiraiya asked, seeing Sakura attempting to carry 3 trays of food to the dining room. Sakura nodded with a grateful smile as Jiraiya took 2 of the trays from her. As the two were laying the trays on the dining room table, Naruto walked in wearing the uniform Jiraiya gave him. On his forehead was a hit I-8 with the kanji for Bij Kansenin engraved on the plate. His previous hit I-8 was acting like a belt. Where did you get the hit I-8? Sakura asked with confusion, as she was sure that Naruto did not have time to arrange for a Kage Bunshin to go and buy them, or more like custom order them. Oh, Ma came by with a hit I-8 this morning when I came out of the bathroom. She said that because I was an honorary Sannin, I should look the part. Sakura nodded in understanding while Jiraiya cried in anguish. Why did Ma give you a hit I-8 when I had to custom order mine? That's because you had already had your unique costume before you were given the title of Sannin, so I didn't give you anything, Jiraiya-chan. Ma said as she hopped into the room, causing Jiraiya to cry even more. Naruto and Sakura watched with awkward silence as Jiraiya cried while Ma clicked her tongue in irritation before he rammed a rolling pin on Jiraiya's head, causing the man to fall onto the ground with a huge bump on his head. Still acting like a child, when would you start acting your age, Jiraiya-chan? Jiraiya stood up with a depressed expression and mumbled something, causing Ma to growl out. What was that, Jiraiya-chan? You want me to hit you again? No, I was just wondering why you are still here. It is unlike you to stay longer than necessary. And how do you know that my reason for staying isn't necessary? Anyway, Naruto-chan, I want you to summon Parmy tomorrow morning. We will start teaching you the sum of the Toad-style ninjutsu. Then we can spar using senjutsu and the ninjutsu you learned. Alright Ma, Dada boyo. And you need to get rid of that verbal tick. Many won't take you seriously with that present. Ma said bluntly, causing Naruto to hang his head, mumbling that he was much better than before. Ma nodded, and before she returned to Mambaki's she said, goodbye everyone, have a nice day. Alright, she's gone, no more rolling pins to the head. That old hag can be such a pain sometimes. Jiraiya said just before a shiver went down his spine. Turning his head, he saw Sakura and Naruto with sinister smiles on their faces. Ah, you two will not tell her I called her a hag, will you? Who knows? Maybe, if you promise not to spy at the public onsen, Sakura said, causing Jiraiya to pale before he exclaimed, that's blackmail. Didn't you have something tell and give to Naruto? Sakura asked with a nonchalant tone, causing Jiraiya to snap his fingers in realization. Right, Naruto, I will have to be leaving soon. A new lead came up on my spy network, which may be harmful to Konoha if we do not follow up. Therefore, I am leaving you a scroll with instructions on how to do Minato's Rasengan and a couple of my own ninjutsu techniques. Do not get disheartened if you do not get the Rasengan within a month. It took me 6 months to learn it and took your father 3 years to create it. Jiraiya said with pride after he handed Naruto a scroll. Naruto chuckled and Sakura giggled when he finished his little speech. You mean this? Naruto said as he created a perfect Rasengan, causing Jiraiya to face fault. How long ago did you learn that? Jiraiya asked with shock, causing Naruto and Sakura to laugh in amusement. Dad transferred the knowledge of the separate steps of mastering the Rasengan to me before his chakra dissipated. That was a year ago. It took me a week to learn it and then some time more to master and then complete it. Naruto said, causing Jiraiya to stare at the boy as if he was seeing a ghost. What do you mean completed? Did you add elemental chakra into it? Naruto nodded, causing Jiraiya to nearly faint before he stared, shaking Naruto like a ragdoll. How did you stabilize it without having the whole construct explode? Jiraiya-sama, if you let go of him, he will be able to tell you. Sakura said as he gently pried Jiraiya's arms from Naruto's shoulder. Jiraiya looked sheepish, while Naruto glared at the Sannin with annoyance. Use Senjutsu to stabilize the technique, or you can use Bij Chakra. Use Kage Bunshin to add the element at first, until you become adept enough to do it yourself, Naruto said with a smile, getting blank look from Jiraiya. Want me to show you? Hell no, you aren't going to be demonstrating Futon. Rasen Shuriken here. Sakura said with a shiver, getting a surprised look from Jiraiya. I wasn't going to throw it. I would have dispelled it after showing it to him. Naruto whined, getting a sigh from Sakura. Alright, but only show, no using it, Sakura said, causing Naruto smile and nod. He closed his eyes for a few minutes before he opened them again, showing he was in Senin MMDM. He stood up, raised his hand above his head, and formed a normal Rasengan. Jiraiya looked confused until a swirling blade of wind chakra formed around the Rasengan core. A high-pitched screeching sound emanated from the Rasen shuriken. A strong whirlwind formed in the room before Naruto suddenly dissipated it. So how was it? Naruto asked only to see that Jiraiya kept staring at the spot the Rasen shuriken was with a blank look. You alright there, Hirosenin? I think he fainted in shock. Sakura said uncertainly as she poked the man, getting an understanding nod from Naruto. And blame him, Rasen shuriken is just too awesome, Naruto said just as his stomach grumbled, causing him to grin sheepishly. Guess I am hungry. Sakura just sighed as she took a seat at the table and started eating her share of the breakfast, after pointing Naruto to his. After they finished their breakfasts, Naruto remembered that Sakura wanted to talk with him. Sakura-chan, what did you want to talk to me about? Let's head to the garden, leave a clone behind. Jiraiya-sama shouldn't hear this, and he does need to know where we are heading. Naruto nodded and created a cage bunshin to watch over the unconscious Anin as the original, and the pink-haired Irenen walked out of the room. Naruto sat down at the edge of the koi pond with Sakura beside him, both wore a serious expression on their faces. After a few minutes of comfortable silence, Sakura spoke up, how do you think the rest of the world will react to the revelation of your heritage and status? I don't know, Sakura-chan. I just hope that Iwa is not idiotic enough to start a war. That is just what Akatsuki needs to hide their movements. If the Fourth Shinobi War starts between the Great Five Nations and their allies instead of the Alliance and the Akatsuki, then I will have to do the only thing left to save my fellow Jinchuriki. I will have to leave Konoha and create an organization to combat the Akatsuki with the rest of the Jinchuriki. Sakura gasped in shock but nodded in understanding. She placed a comforting hand on his shoulder and gave him a reassuring smile. If you leave, I will come with you. I didn't come back to the past only to see the world be destroyed by Akatsuki. Naruto gave a nod as he smiled softly at the girl. The two sat there in silence and stared at the koi fish swimming in the pond without a care in the world. It was in this scene that Ikao walked into as she shunshined into Uzumaki Estate in search for Naruto and Sakura. So this is where you two have been. Hokage-sama was surprised when either of you didn't appear first thing in the morning. Naruto and Sakura turned around to see Ikao in her Anbu uniform and cat mask. Naruto grinned and said, morning Nico-chan, we kind of forgot the time as we discussed what teams we would be put into and what missions are awaiting us. Morning Nico-san, sorry for having you come here. We will be going right now. Sakura said with a bow as she placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder and vanished in Shunshin. Ikao smiled as the two left before she left as well. Ah, Naruto-kun, Sakura-chan, good of you to show up, these are your ninja registration cards. They contain your ninja registration numbers and other relevant information that are not security risks but still important, and I am thankful that you didn't do something crazy for the photo. Hiruzen said as he handed over their respective registration cards. Both took the cards with a silent nod before looking them over. Sakura's picture showed the perfect image of a kunoichi, while Naruto's was different. Naruto was wearing his new Anbu-style cloths and orange vest. The red Haori with yellow lightning bolts lying over the vest, and finally the new hit I-8. Unlike last time, this time, his face was serious. Now all that was salvaged from your parents' house, I put in this scroll. Go through it when you have time. Now normally I do not do this, but with your skills and teamwork, I think it best to ask, what do you think of working under Hada Kakashi, your father's surviving student, with Uchiha Sasuke? Naruto and Sakura thought for a few moments before they turned to each other and started going through hand signs Hiruzen was not familiar with. After a few moments they nodded to each other and turned back to Hiruzen with a serious expression. Sakura finally spoke up, I mean no disrespect Hokage-sama, but would that make our team disproportionately strong? We have no problem working under Haddock-san and with Sasuke, but aren't teams meant to be balanced? Hiruzen nodded with a smile, you two remind me of when I used to teach Jiraiya and Tsunade. You are right in that your team would be stronger than usual, but this year, there are many clan heirs passing. Due to that, we are creating specialized teams. Your team's specialty will be frontline fighters and heavy assault. If required, extraction from behind enemy lines. I think that a team as powerful as you will serve well in those positions. Naruto and Sakura nodded in understanding. Alright Jiji, just tell sensei that if he lets Sasuke be the team he normally is, I will send the team to the hospital. Sorry Sakura-chan, but you know why I said that. Naruto said with a guilty expression, getting a sad smile and a nod from Sakura. What do you mean Naruto-kun? Hiruzen asked only for Sakura to reply. Sasuke is too entrenched in his want to extract vengeance for his clan. He can become a liability if anyone powerful offers him a shortcut to power, or he thinks his comrades are holding him back, he can easily turn on us. Fortunately, I have enough knowledge to be able to keep an eye on his mental condition, but if I see that he is deteriorating to a dangerous mental state, then I request permission to suspend his ninja license and assign him to psychological counseling. Sakura said with a serious expression, getting a surprised look from Naruto. Hiruzen hummed as he thought about it before his expression turned serious, is that a request as a comrade or fully certified Irenen? As a fully certified Iranian, Sakura said without hesitating, causing Hiruzen to nod. Request granted. I will have the scroll written up and give to you by the time of team assignments. Thank you Hokage-sama, Sakura said with a bow, getting a smile from the old man when the door to the Hokage office opened and in rushed a spiky brown-haired boy with a long blue scarf, wielding a kunai. He was wearing a yellow t-shirt with a red Konoha symbol, grey pants, and blue goggles on his forehead. This is Ijiji. I will defeat you today and take the hat from you. The boy exclaimed as he ran into the office before tripping on his own scarf. Hiruzen just sighed and Naruto stared at the boy with a well-hidden fond smile. Sakura just stared in confusion before she groaned. You two tripped me. Konohamaru said as got up and pointed at Sakura and Naruto, causing both of the former to sigh and the latter to pick up the boy by the collar of his t-shirt. Listen Gaki, you tripped over your own scarf. Naruto said with annoyance as he raised his fist when Ibisu ran into the room screaming, honorable grandson, where are you? Seeing Konohamaru being held by Naruto, Ibisu grunted out, unhand him ruffian. He is the grandson of Sandaime-sama. Konohamaru grinned as he looked up at Naruto, expecting to see the look of awe only to see annoyance. I don't care if the Hokage is his grandmother. Naruto said as he punched Konohamaru on the head. Besides, my father is the Yondaime. Ibisu said as he critically stared at Naruto before exclaiming, Naruto-sama, forgive me. I didn't recognize you without your orange tracksuit. Naruto just waved it off and turned his attention back to Hiruzen. I am going Jiji. I will see you when I have a bit of free time. Kurama is pushing me to quickly master the basics of the 5 elements. I will be leaving as well Hokage-sama, I need to get back to my endurance training. Sakura said as the two tried to walk out of the room only for Konohamaru to say, who's the flat-chested girl? Naruto, Hiruzen and Ibisu paled in fear and an ominous presence filled the room centered around Sakura, who had a sweet smile. As Sakura approached the brown-haired boy, the other three would swear that they saw a demonic entity overlapping Sakura's position. You are quite the sweet little Gaki, aren't you? That I am, flat-chested girl. Konohamaru said without fear, only causing the other three to shiver in fright. Sakura raised her hand and curled her index finger into a flicking position. Remember Sakura-chan, he isn't a Jinchuriki. Do not hurt him too much Eep, Naruto exclaimed when Sakura turned her smiling face at him. Naruto could swear that he was looking at the face of the enraged Bai again. Sakura turned back to Konohamaru and said, it isn't polite to talk about a lady's age and their figure Gaki. What do you have to say for yourself? What did I say? I just said that you are flat-chested. Konohamaru said with a clueless face. Tick marks formed on Sakura's forehead as Hiruzen, Naruto and Ibisu were now trying to look as small as they could so as to not direct the girl's irritated attention on them. Shanro. Sakura screamed as she flicked Konohamaru on the forehead, causing the boy to fly into the wall. Hiruzen and Ibisu paled to the complexion of a corpse at the show of strength. Ibisu thinking that angering the girl would lead to him spending an extended stay at the hospital, while Hiruzen thought, this is the second coming of Tsunade. She even has the same anger problems as his former student. As the boy crumpled to the ground staring at Sakura in awe, Sakura turned to the rest of the occupants of the room and said, sorry for cracking the wall. I made sure to hold back so that Konohamaru-kun will only have a couple of bruises, nothing more. Hiruzen nodded as Sakura walked up to Naruto and placed a hand on his shoulder before both vanished in a shunshin. That was scary. So what did you learn Konohamaru-kun? Hiruzen said, drawing the attention of the catatonic Ibisu. Both looked at where Konohamaru was only to see that he was missing. Oh no, I hope that he doesn't anger Sakura-chan anymore. I don't think the girl will be able to hold back a second time. Ibisu looked surprised and asked, forgive my insolence Hokage-sama, but shouldn't you punish the girl for harming your grandson? No, Konohamaru-kun was in the wrong. Because everyone treats him as my grandson and not as himself, he acts out in an attempt to gain attention on himself. He is not afraid to insult anyone as he knows that most will not do anything to him. Sakura-chan and Naruto-kun's influence should remove that out of him. Ibisu nodded in understanding before he realized that Konohamaru was still missing. Excuse me Hokage-sama, I need to make sure that the honorable grandson doesn't get into trouble again. Ibisu said as he rushed out of the door, calling out for Konohamaru to wait for him. Naruto? Yes Sakura-chan. That is Konohamaru under the box following us, right? Naruto sighed when Sakura pointed out the horrid disguise the brown-haired boy was using. After a moment of thought, Naruto sighed again before he vanished from Konohamaru's line of sight, leaving Sakura behind with a confused look. Where did he go? Konohamaru said inside the box, causing Sakura to palm his face in embarrassment. As Konohamaru looked around from the peepholes, someone suddenly lifted the box off him, surprising the boy. What happened? Konohamaru said before a fake cough drew his attention. Turning around, he sheepishly looked up into the eyes of Naruto, who had a disappointed look in them. Why are you following us Konohamaru? Naruto asked seriously, causing the boy's face to light up in happiness. And you do know that a rock is meant to be asymmetrical, right? I didn't know that. Konohamaru said with confusion, causing Naruto and Sakura to sigh again. Who has been teaching you stealth? Sakura asked, only for the boy to declare with pride that it was Ibisu. Naruto grinned and said, I should have known. Anyway, you haven't told us why you were following us. Ibisu-sensei says that his teachings will make me into a Kikis ninja in a very short time, but until now, I feel as if I have barely gotten stronger. How can I become Hokage if I am weak? That is why I wanted you two to teach me. I heard that you two took out a Chunin without trouble. You two are very strong. I want to become strong like you two so that I can become Hokage. Then everyone would see me as Konohamaru and not as the honorable grandson of the Hokage. Konohamaru stated with despair, getting an understanding nod from the duo. Alright Konohamaru, I will teach you, that is when I have free time. Meet me at Ichiraku Ramen tomorrow at noon. We will have lunch and then I will show you where I live. It has private training grounds we can use. However, know this, I am not helping you so that you want to become Hokage. I also want to become Hokage, but the reason why is different. Being a leader is the main job of the Hokage. He is not just the strongest shinobi in the village. He is also the one who inspires everyone under his command to do better, the one who administers the economic and political policies for the betterment of the village. Are you sure that is what you want? Besides, you do not become Hokage to be recognized, recognition leads to the Jonin Council voting you in as Hokage. If you want to become strong, don't do it because you want to be Hokage, become strong so that you can protect those precious to you. Naruto declared with passion, causing a metaphorical fire to light up in the boy's eyes. With a massive grin, Konohamaru replied, got it boss. You do not become strong to become Hokage, you become strong to protect those precious to you. The Hokage is the strongest because the whole village is precious to him, right? That's right Konohamaru. One can only become strong if they have someone precious. If you do not, then find someone precious, be it friends, comrades or even family. Just do everything in your power and then some more to protect that precious someone. Then you will truly be strong. Just look at my father, he defeated Kurama, the Kikbi, because he was protecting the village and me. Konohamaru nodded solemnly in understanding before Naruto called out, aren't you coming? You did want to train with me, right? Konohamaru looked up to see Naruto, and Sakura had already walked far into the distance. With a startled look, Konohamaru scurried behind the two-time traveling shinobi with hopes to become stronger, not for himself, but for those precious to him. Ibisu had been searching for Konohamaru for over 3 hours now and had yet to find the boy. Ibisu sighed in annoyance, but kept search for his wayward charge. He had looked in all the boy's usual haunts only to come up empty. The only place he has not searched yet was the training grounds. Now that he thought about it, Konohamaru had vanished right after Naruto and Sakura had, so it was probable that he had followed the duo. With that though in mind, Ibisu headed towards the training grounds. As Ibisu was nearing the training grounds, he started calling out to Konohamaru. Honorable grandson, where are you? How would you become Hokage without my shortcut to training? What the glass-wearing Jonin did not realize was that Naruto, Sakura and Konohamaru heard him but chose to ignore his calls. The first thing Naruto did was explain to Konohamaru that there were no shortcuts to strength, so when Ibisu called out to the boy ignored the man's claims to a shortcut in training and kept doing what Naruto taught him to do. As Ibisu walked into the clearing where the trio were training, he saw that Konohamaru kept calmly trying to walk up the tree with varying degrees of success. Near him, 500 clones of Naruto were training, all of them doing different nature chakra training. One group was trying to burn a wet leaf. Another was trying to draw out the water from a leaf, causing it to dry up. Yet another was trying to make a leaf crumble to dust. The second to last was trying to make a leaf crumple up with Raten chakra. The final group was training and perfecting Senin MMDM. The original was sparring with the Sakura, who had attached heavy chakra weights to her legs, arms, and torso. This is surprising, I didn't think that the honorable grandson would be willing to train in chakra control without a reward. He mainly screams for new jutsu. Ibisu exclaimed to himself, getting Sakura Konohamaru's attention. The brown-haired boy turned to Ibisu with a deadpan look and simply said, you never told me how important chakra control was to learning jutsu. Get back to training Konohamaru, you said that you would master it by the end of the day, so get to it. Naruto said seriously, causing Konohamaru to nod and start walking up the tree again, nearly reaching the top this time before he was blasted off the trunk. Ibisu watched as Konohamaru flipped and landed on his feet and a single extended arm before repeating the exercise. Amazing, isn't it, what a little motivation can do? Ibisu turned to see Naruto standing beside him with Sakura healing a couple of bruises on her arms a couple of feet away from them. The bandana-wearing Jonin nodded in agreement before asking, how did you get him to realize that chakra control was this important? I tried to explain before, but he just brushed me off. Simple really, he believed that knowing many jutsu would make him strong. I just showed him that though I am strong, I only have a few jutsu under my command. What I made him realize is that if one learns many jutsu but not master the basics, would only weaken him. Instead, I told him that getting better chakra control would allow him to learn jutsu faster and master them better. In turn, he would become stronger, though it will not be immediately apparent. I see that's where I failed him. I normally train seasoned ninja who are recent recruits in Anbu Black Ops. I expected the honorable grandson to have the same mentality as seasoned ninja. That is why he doesn't listen to me. Ibisu said with a thoughtful look on his face. Turning to Naruto, he bowed and said, I thank you for making me see the mistakes I have made with the honorable grandson, Naruto-sama. That along with you calling him honorable grandson instead of his given name, if you had called him Konohamaru from the start, he would have respect you more. In fact, he would have taken your teaching method much better if you had seen him as Konohamaru instead of Jiji's grandson. Naruto said with a grin causing Ibisu to stare at the blonde-haired Jinchuriki with awe. He could not believe that someone younger than him was far wiser. I thank you for your advice Naruto-sama. Now as it seems the Konohamaru-sama is safe, I can leave him here for the moment while I plan a new training plan for him. How long are you planning to train here? I can train the whole day, Sakura-chan will do the same. I believe that Konohamaru will not give up unless he faints from exhaustion or masters the tree walking exercise, so he would be here for a long time as well. If I see that he is overdoing it, I will make him stop and take him to the Saratobi estate myself, so you don't have to worry about the Gaki. Ibisu nodded before he vanished in a shunshin. Why didn't you tell him that you plan to take Konohamaru as your apprentice in the future? Naruto turned around and stared at his pink-haired comrade with a grin. Where's the fun in that? I want to see the look on his face when he finally learns of my plans. He already had his chance to make Konohamaru into someone great. He failed just as most of my teachers failed me. He did not see the diamond hidden among the quartz. Sakura nodded before a sly smirk appeared on her face. I wonder how Tsunade-sama, Iruka-sensei, and Jiraiya-sama would have reacted to you taking on a student. I know that Tsunade-sama would have drunk herself into a stupor complaining about another loudmouth Gaki disturbing the peace of her village. Iruka-sensei and Jiraiya-sama would be very proud of you right now. Bachan wouldn't complain. Naruto exclaimed with indignation only for Sakura to giggle at the Uzumaki's pouty face. Believe whatever you want, now how about another round? Sakura said before she charged Naruto with a fist glowing with accumulated chakra. With a grin, Naruto jumped back as Sakura smashed her fist into the ground, causing a massive fissure to form. Konohamaru, who had finally made it to the top of the tree, watched in shock at the strength exhibited by the slim girl. The next day, Konohamaru met up with Naruto and Sakura at Ichiraku Ramen. After a quick lunch, the trio headed towards Naruto's clan estate. So this the Uzumaki estate. Konohamaru stated as he walked into the compound behind Sakura and Naruto. Naruto just grinned at the boy as he walked towards the large onsen at the back of the compound. I hope you brought your swimming trunks Konohamaru. I can assure you that you will get wet. Naruto said with a grin causing Konohamaru to shudder in anticipation. Sure I did. What do you take me for? Konohamaru said with a pout as he pulled out a dark green pair of swimming trunks from his hip pouch. Then quickly get changed and meet me here. You can change in that room. Naruto said as he pointed to a small shack off to the compound. With a quick nod, Konohamaru rushed into the shack and closed the door behind him. You are having way too much fun training him. Naruto turned around to see Sakura wearing a red two-piece bikini. How you look cute, are you planning to join Konohamaru in his training? I thought we already mastered it. Aka, my muscles are sore from yesterday's training. I am going to be relaxing in the onsen and watch as Konohamaru has fun finding out how to walk on water. Sakura said with a small blush as she walked out to the other side of the onsen and fell in with a small splash. Are you going to watch him, or do you have something else planned? I am going to read through the books on sealing Hirosenin gave me. I need to start somewhere. Naruto said as he brought out a black book with the title, A Beginner's Guide to Fukinjutsu Volume 1 by Uzumaki Kushina and Namikaze Minato. Sakura nodded in understanding as she lazed about in the onsen when Konohamaru walked out of the shack. Why are you in the onsen? Konohamaru asked with confusion only to get a giggle out of Sakura. Naruto ignored the boy in favor of reading the book on Fukinjutsu. I am just relaxing. Why don't you get started with the water walking exercise, Konohamaru-kun? Remember that unlike tree walking, where the surface remains stable, the surface of the water is ever changing. You will have to adjust the flow of chakra to be able to keep afloat. Why don't you try it? Konohamaru nodded and was about to walk onto the water when Sakura said, mind your step, the water will feel very hot at first. Konohamaru nodded and walked onto the water with jerky steps. Surprisingly, the boy was doing much better than both Sakura and Naruto expected. He had good chakra control for someone his age and with his larger than average chakra reserves. For the next hour, Konohamaru carefully walked about the surface of the onsen, sometimes losing control and falling in only to rise back up and try again. All that time Sakura lazed about in the onsen with Naruto sitting under a large tree reading his book. "We have been here for an hour already. How much have you read until now?" Naruto looked up to see Sakura standing above him, toweling her hair dry. "I have read through the first 3 chapters. The one about what Genjutsu is according to my clan and the comparison of that definition with the international one. The next was about the different kinds of seals in existence and their classification. The 3rd chapter introduces the reader to the various elements of a seal with some simple examples. The 4th chapter, the one I am reading, is about 2 different character sets used in Genjutsu. The chapter only gives the list of international set. I believe that my clan set will not be in these books, only the theory and rules my clan had developed. I will have to check the clan library to learn that set. The final chapter of this book should be an introduction to basic safety procedures and the basic rules of Genjutsu." Sakura nodded in understanding as she removed the towel from her head and wrapped it around her waist. "I am surprised that you understood what the book said so easily. You generally learn through doing instead of reading. Must be the genetic disposition you have to Genjutsu." Naruto nodded and returned his attention back to the book as Sakura walked away towards the main house. A loud cheer drew Naruto's attention nearly an hour later. He looked up from the book to see Konohamaru whooping as he ran about on the surface of the water like it was dry land. "Good job, Konohamaru. You got something that takes most genin weeks to learn. You have great chakra control that has now been refined even more. With your new control, theoretically, you can now learn and master any jutsu with ease." Konohamaru grinned with glee at the thought of new jutsu when Sakura walked out of the main house in her usual shinobi gear. "Don't give him false hopes, Naruto. Mastering chakra control does help, but he is still a long way off until he can master any jutsu with ease. He needs a very good theoretical foundation for that to happen. Unlike you, most don't have an innate understanding of chakra manipulation," Sakura said, causing Naruto to pout and Konohamaru to look depressed. "Theory is very important, Konohamaru. Learn theory and come to me if you do not understand anything. I will make sure that you understand them. Why would you want to learn jutsu when you can create your own if you understand the theory well enough?" "Really, I can create my own jutsu?" Konohamaru asked with awe, getting a chuckle out of the elder duo. Sakura nodded with a smile on her face as she said, "Why do you think your grandfather is called the professor? He has a great understanding of theory and great chakra control. With same knowledge, I do not know why you will not reach leads similar to him, maybe even surpass him. You do want to surpass him, don't you?" Konohamaru nodded with enthusiasm, causing Sakura to grin. "Then why don't we spar on the water for a bit? That will help make the exercise second nature to you. After that, I will show you a couple of books on chakra theory. You just need to start reading them. While Sakura-chan helps with you with chakra control, chakra theory, and Jinjutsu, I will help with ninjutsu and taijutsu, and when you are ready, I will even start teaching you senjutsu, that is unless the monkey summons decided to train you themselves in the art," Naruto stated as he got well placing the book in his equipment pouch. "Now how about we make this spar a free-for-all?" Konohamaru started sweating in fear. He knew that sparring with either Sakura or Naruto would be difficult, but to spar against both at the same time and in a battle royal, he knew that he was in for a very bad time. With a sigh of acceptance of his immediate fate, he got into the academy stance and waited for the beatdown he was about to suffer. Sasuke was walking down the road towards the Uzumaki compound deep in thought. The day after graduation, he met with Naruto atop the Yondame's head, looking for the quickest path to strength, only for Naruto to refute his claims, telling him that only time and hard work is the only path to strength while accepting help from others when needed. Previously he would have scoffed at Naruto's words, now he accepted them without much fuss. Now that he thought about it, Itachi always told him the same thing before his betrayal, leaving him, Uchiha Sasuke, as the last loyal Uchiha. At one time, he believed Itachi, but after the betrayal, it became hard for him to accept anything Itachi told him. Naruto's words showed that Itachi might have been right. Now that he thought about it, he and Naruto were similar in some aspects as well, just as Naruto and Itachi had similar mentalities. While he knew the love of a family and then lost it, Naruto never knew the love of a family, but he understood the pain of loneliness. Then there was the fact that both of them were the last of their clans. That day atop the Yondame's head, Naruto had revealed his heritage to him, trusting him not to reveal it until the Hokage revealed it to the world, which according to Naruto should have been much later. He needed to remember to ask why it was revealed this soon. Now a big target was painted on Naruto's back when he wanted to remain in anonymity until the Chunin exams. He already pitied the team that would have Naruto on it. Iwa would be sending teams of Jonin to take that team out during missions. The night of the revelation, he checked the Uchiha archives for references to the Uzumaki clan, was shocked to learn of the power of the clan, easily rivaling his own in the Senju, not to mention being distant cousins of both the Uchiha and Senju. The next surprising information about the Uzumaki clan he found was the appearance of random mutations, allowing unique Kekai Genkai to be born, never completely same and two individuals activating the same Kekai Genkai. To heal the critically injured with just the transfer of chakra, to be able to restrain Bijj with chains manifested through chakra and powerful sensory abilities, just to mention a few. Then there were their innate skills with Kenjutsu, their extreme longevity, and massive chakra reserves. He wondered if Naruto manifested some kind of unique Kekai Genkai. Well, that was not important. What was how he should proceed with his training, even if he had to swallow his pride and accept Naruto's help. But that thought out of the way, Sasuke looked up to see the gate to the Uzumaki estate. A large red spiral, exactly like the one Naruto had on the back of his orange jumpsuit, was engraved into the top of the gates. A small seal was engraved to the side of the gate with the sign, Channel Chakra under it. Shrugging, Sasuke placed a finger on the seal and channeled a bit of chakra. At first, nothing happened, but after a couple of minutes, the gates opened to reveal Naruto with a massive grin on his face. Good of you to come, team. I hope that you are ready for training. I will tell you now, if you don't have the conviction to see it through, then leave right now. Naruto stated with a serious expression, causing Sasuke to raise an eyebrow in curiosity. He had never seen Naruto like this. "HN, just get on with the dope. I want to get stronger as soon as possible." Naruto nodded as he walked into the estate with Sasuke following behind him. Naruto led the Uchiha towards the back of the compound, where they found Konohamaru and Sakura sparring, well, more like Sakura trying to beat the young boy into a bloody pulp while the boy kept screaming and dodging to the best of his abilities. "Konohamaru, you need to attack as well. Dodging will only save you for so long," Sakura said with a sweet smile that caused a shiver to run down all three boys' spines. Naruto and Sasuke watched as Sakura raised her leg in a vertical split and brought it down on the ground, causing the whole ground to crack and shatter as pieces of rock the size of small boulders flew up into the. Konohamaru did his best to dodge the rocks, only for Sakura to appear in front of him and kick him out of the training ground with a roundhouse kick to the belly. "You need to learn to attack even in the face of insurmountable odds, Konohamaru. If you don't, you will never surpass Jiji," Naruto stated, stoically getting a nod from the kid. "Now why don't you have a rest while I help Sasuke activate his Sharingan?" "How will you help me activate my Sharingan?" Sasuke asked, intrigued, while Sakura suddenly paled in realization. Naruto ignored Sasuke in favor of whining to Sakura, "Did you have to demolish the training ground again? I hate wasting chakra to repair it." "Stop whining, with the repairing seals embedded in the bedrock under the training ground, you will have it fixed in a second. Now have fun trying to kill Sasuke while I torment Konohamaru-kun with chakra theory. I finally realize why Iruka-sensei likes to teach," Sakura said with a grin, causing Sasuke to pale in realization of what Naruto had planned. He never expected the dope to be ruthless enough to try to kill a comrade to help them activate their Kekai Genkai. As Sasuke was lost in thought, Naruto channeled chakra into a small pedestal, causing the training ground to glow before it repaired itself. Naruto called out to Sasuke, causing the Uchiha to look at the previously destroyed training ground to see a pristine one. "Are you going to keep standing there, or are you going to enter the training ground?" "HN, I am coming, dope. Don't get worked up about it," Sasuke said with a grunt as he walked to the center of the training ground. As soon as he got into his taijutsu stance, Naruto pulsed his chakra while going through a set of 10 hand seals before slamming his hands on the ground. A pulse of chakra erupted from the ground before a pale blue translucent barrier encompassed the training ground. "There, with that barrier ready, we can go all out. Come at me with the intent to kill, or I can assure you that you will die," Naruto stated as his eyes changed from blue to red with black slits. A golden cloak of chakra formed around him with black sealing lines flowing through the cloak, originating from the navel. Sasuke sweated in fear of the power Naruto was giving off. Before Sasuke could react, Naruto had vanished from in front of him, while at the same time, Sasuke felt an extremely strong kick land on his back, throwing him forward. "Is that all you have got, Sasuke?" Uchiha Madara was rumored to be able to easily defeat the Kickbee. Have the Uchiha become so weak that they can't even handle a single tail's worth of the Kickbee's power? Naruto taunted before a fist made of chakra erupted from Naruto's back and rammed into Sasuke's chest, causing the Uchiha to gasp as all the air was driven out of his lungs. Outside the barrier, Konohamaru and Sakura watched with wide eyes as for the next half an hour Naruto proceeded to crush Sasuke into the ground. No matter what the Uchiha tried, Naruto had a counter to shut it down. Kaiten. Kankakyu, a chakra arm, dispelled the fire with a single wave. Kunai thrown into vital areas, the chakra cloak repelled them with ease. Straight up to Jutsu, Naruto was too fast for Sasuke to land a hit or dodge. To explain in a single word, it was a massacre. How can you control that much power so easily and with the Kickbee's malice flowing through the chakra? Sasuke asked as he coughed up blood. Because I have complete control over myself, besides I have already purified the fox of his hatred. Originally, the hatred used to eat away at my sanity. After coming to terms with my dark side, it was easy to suppress away the darkness within the Kikbi's chakra. Soon after that, I was able to help the fox get over his hatred. If you let your hatred consume you, you will not be any better that beast Kurama had become or your brother has become. He let his darkness take over his heart. Do not become what you hate, Sasuke. Avenge your clan, but do not throw away everything for vengeance. Naruto said as he conjured a Rasengan and charged at the stunned Sasuke. Naruto, stop, that Rasengan is strong enough to kill him. Sakura screamed from outside the barrier with Konohamaru watching with morbid curiosity. Inside the barrier, Sasuke watched as Naruto ran towards him with the spiraling ball of chakra. He heard Sakura's claim that it would kill him. He just could not bring himself to care. Naruto's recent speech had shaken him up. He realized that he was very close to becoming another Itachi. He was about to accept his fate when a voice that sounded like his brother resounded through his mind. Foolish little brother, you think dying is the answer? Where is the strength of your hate? Didn't you swear that you would avenge our clan? The voice of Itachi said, causing the Uchiha to be flooded with determination to survive. Sasuke watched as suddenly Naruto's pace seemed to have slowed down. He could see the flow of chakra within the small ball and the chakra coating Naruto's body. Just as Naruto was about to shove the ball into his gut, Sasuke jumped to the side while drawing a kunai and flicking it towards the ball of swirling chakra. He watched with fascination as the kunai struck the ball, causing it to destabilize and explode in Naruto's golden chakra-coated hand before a fist made of the golden chakra struck him in the gut, sending him crashing into the barrier. Groggily, Sasuke stood up, ready for a fight. He saw Naruto dispel the chakra cloak with a grin on his face. Making the ram hand seal, Naruto pulsed his chakra in a definite sequence, causing the barrier to shatter and fade. HN, aren't we going to continue? We already achieved our objective. Peer into the koi pond. I think you will be ecstatic, well as ecstatic as an emo can be. Naruto stated to the confusion of the Uchiha. Without anything better to do, Sasuke walked up to the koi pond and peered into the clear waters. To his shock, he saw his reflection stare back at him with red eyes instead of the usual black. Within the left eye were two Tamo, while the other had one. Sasuke grinned at the revelation. Here he had been trying to activate it for years, and Naruto helped him do it on the first day. Foolish little brother, you may have gained the Sharingan, but you still need the Mangekyou to be able to handle me. You don't have the hatred to kill me. Itachi's voice resounded through Sasuke's head, again causing the boy to clench his fists in anger when he remembered Naruto's previous words. No, Itachi, I want hate. It was not hate that activated my Sharingan, it was help from comrades. You are only trying to make me into another version of yourself. I will kill you to avenge the clan, but I will not obsess and hate you for the darkness that now resides in your heart. Sasuke thought before he stood up from his crouch and walked toward Sakura, who had bandages ready.